Sactown Sports.
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Hey, Kyle Draper. I know you don't need me to tell you this, but Kings fans are not happy today. How are you, more importantly?
I'm not happy. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. This last 24 hours has been a kick in the gut. It's been awful.
Or maybe even a little lower.
Exactly. I'm trying to keep it PG rated. I know we got kids listening out there, but it has been a rough 24 hours for the Sacramento Kings.
I know yesterday about this time you tried to tell me, hey, respect your opponent and all that. And like we said, it's like, I know that, but still, can't even fathom the idea of the Kings losing to that team. And yet here we are. I think it's just a matter of, hey, we're back on the coaster. Even Malik Monk last night talked about the ups and the downs.
Yes.
I just think, Kyle, when you have a team that doesn't defend well consistently, there's going to be nights when, well, it's like if you don't defend, every game's like a box of chocolates.
Right. And here's what we know about the NBA. Every team has guys that can erupt on any given night. Jaden Ivey's a hell of a player. He looked like Michael Jordan out there last night. Like the way he was filling it up. Jalen Duren, he looked like prime Shaq back. And so this is what I'm talking about, Whitey. If I'm correct, I told you, don't be surprised if
you did
late in this game, because this is the NBA and this is the Sacramento Kings. And I was with you yesterday. There's no way they should. This is a must win. And
yeah. Well, like you said, don't be surprised if it's a close game. And I said, that's fine. I don't even care. As long as I win.
As long as you get the win.
Yeah. I don't even care. And they were just they were dominated physically. And then, of course, today, the deadline comes, the deadline goes. Kings get one of the Lopez twins, the wrong one, and then send him out for cash consideration. So I have this on the text line. I am so bleeping mad, dude. Not a single move was made, period. What the bleep is that? From Steven. From the 916, since the Kings clearly don't care about this season as a fan, I'm going to go ahead and wave the white flag and we'll not be watching any more Kings basketball this year. It's fine as long as you listen. Nothing again from the 916. Let's see here. Sitting on their behinds again while the West teams got stronger, sat pat in the offseason. Now at another trade deadline, no muscle in the front court to help Sabonis. They can't beat the Pelicans, T-Wolves, Clippers. And then they accommodate the Bucks getting a Lopez and releasing him. So anyway, that's just a sampling of where, as you know, I'm sure you're hearing it, seeing it too, where Kings fans are today, where we all are.
Frustrated and angry.
Yes.
Frustrated and angry. And, I'm trying to be level-headed about this, Whitey, because a lot of times I can just speak from emotion. I get too worked up. So I'm trying to be level-headed about the loss last night in the inaction at the trade deadline. But I can't be. I'm upset right now. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. It hurts that we didn't do anything at the trade deadline. It hurts that we didn't do anything at the trade deadline and we lost to the Detroit Pistons. It hurts that I'm watching Phoenix get better. I'm watching OKC get better. I'm watching Dallas get better. You don't think Dallas got better?
If you follow the trend line, since they signed Grant Williams, Dallas now gave up, if I remember correctly, Seth Curry, the second player they gave up in that trade, a first-round pick, a pick swap, and 2 second-round picks for what is now PJ Washington.
Well, we'll know soon enough, I guess, whether it helped them or not. But I think your point, Kyle, the larger point is they tried to do something.
They're doing something.
Yeah,
exactly. At least they're out there making moves. Exactly.
Yeah. I do like Daniel Gafford, too.
Exactly.
Yes. Yes.
You just poo-pooed the Dallas moves, and then all of a sudden at the end says, I like Daniel Gafford, though. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They got 2 rotation players.
OKC gets Gordon Hayward.
Dallas
gets Gafford and PJ Washington. Phoenix gets Royce O'Neal, David Roddy. You go in the East, Buddy Hields going to the Sixers, Pat Beverly to the Bucks. The Knicks get Bojan Bogdanovic, and they get Alec Burks. Too bad they didn't get him before last night, huh?
Right.
Well, the Kings sit there and doing nothing. Here's what we think we know. Looking at, well, did they try to do anything? Sam Amick, I believe this was Sam. Team sources said there have been no talks on the Kuzma front for months, and that the Kings have no interest in losing any of the rotation players who would need to be sent out to match his salary. Even beyond Kuzma, all signs, and this was before the deadline, all signs point to the Kings keeping their current core and then some intact while trying to add to it without losing any of their main rotation players. And then Hoops Hype said the Kings kicked the tires on what a package of Herter and Barnes could command on the trade market dating back to the G League showcase, league sources told Hoops Hype. So that's the little bit we know about what we think they were trying to do, but it sounds like they weren't necessarily hell-bent. They weren't necessarily determined on doing anything significant.
Well, I was thinking about this, earlier today when all the trades were coming out. There's two schools of thought on why Monte McNair didn't do something today. One, he didn't like the price that was, being offered by the other team. But two, all the players that we talked about, that we were interested in, that did get moved today. When you look at
Royce O'Neal
was one.
And,
PJ Washington. I'm going to throw in Bogdanovich from Detroit there also.
Yes.
They must not have been as high on those guys as we were. We brought up all these names like, oh, maybe they can go get PJ Washington. Maybe they could get Bogdanovich. The Knicks totally bamboozled the Pistons, I believe. They got Bogdanovich and Alex Burks. You telling me we couldn't make a move to get Bogdanovich? All they gave up was Quentin Grimes and 2 second-round picks. The players don't matter. The rest of the players don't matter.
Wow, disrespect to Malachi Flynn.
Yes, exactly. 100% disrespect to Malachi Flynn. I'm looking at, what the Mavs were able to do. Daniel Gafford.
Yep.
And as a guy we sort of kind of talked about,
threw
around as well. They got Daniel Gafford for what? What was it?
It was Rashawn in a second-round pick.
Rashawn in a second-round pick. We couldn't beat that for Daniel Gafford. No offense to Rashawn Holmes, but that's what I'm talking about. And so either A, the price was too high, and clearly it wasn't for Daniel Gafford, or B, they didn't have interest in that player.
Yeah, as far as PJ goes, and I do think that getting him was, a sign that Dallas was serious about improving. They gave up, I don't want to say a lot to get him, but it wasn't nothing. Grant Williams and Seth Curry and a first rounder, which I think is just top 2 protected. Mm-hmm. And I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying that I think you're right. The latter suggestion from you is right, that the Kings just looked at this and said, we could probably get some of these guys, but it would cost us things we don't want to give. I mean, Gafford, would Gafford, if Gafford was coming here, would we be excited? They got so many backup centers as it is.
How about this then? All right, why do
Gafford would have helped? Yeah, would have.
He would have helped. He would have helped. He's a solid player. He's a very. How about this move then? The Utah Jazz sending Kelly Olynyk and Ochai Agbaji to the Jazz for Otto Porter Jr., Kira Lewis, and a 2024 first-round pick. I would have loved Kelly Olynyk and Agbaji to be here in Sacramento. Agbaji's a young two-way kind of player. I think he has an upside. Mm-hmm. Kelly Olynyk would fit in perfectly in this system. And so that's what made me think of the latter being that, because the price wasn't too high on some of these guys. Royce O'Neal. What did Phoenix have to give up for Royce O'Neal? You got that right there?
It was a very complicated 3-team. I think that was the one, and I didn't write it down because it involved a number of picks. Phoenix actually, I think ultimately they got Royce O'Neal and they still ended up with some assets. So bottom line, I don't think they gave up a lot, but it was kind of a complicated 3-team deal.
Exactly.
But they didn't give up much.
Gordon Hayward. Not saying he would have fit, he would have been perfect, but the Thunder didn't give up a whole lot for Gordon Hayward.
No.
They actually cleared salary cap space.
That's what I'm saying. They cleared salary cap space as well. And so they gave up Trey Mann, Davis Bertans, Vasily Micic, and draft considerations. And so that leads me to believe it's the latter. Monte McNair and the Kings did not have interest in those players that I just mentioned.
It's just so hard to stomach today, obviously, because last night you get it like, here you go. As if there was any doubt about your team, you're really not as good as we hoped right now, losing to Detroit. So, hey, good to know before the deadline, right? If you're a fan, you look at that, well, all right, I was hoping that we were better than that, but all right, what are we going to do about it? Well, right now, nothing. And that's just tough to stomach.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I know. It's like you're coming off your worst loss of the season.
Worst of the season.
And you're inactive. You don't do. And then the fact that you made the trade for Robin Lopez, like when you read the first line or two of Woj's tweet, you're like, okay. And then you get to the line, but they're going to buy him out and, he's going to be a free agent. And it's like, what are we doing? Like, maybe we didn't get Brooke Lopez, but I would have taken Robin Lopez. Like, I'm disappointed. That's all. Like, I'm disappointed because this is the second straight trade deadline. They got Kessler Edwards last year. You can argue in the offseason also you didn't make a whole lot of moves. And so it's a little frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, it is. From the 916, we need to bring back the promo on 1140 that says the Kings are running it back. LOL, Chris, frustrated Kings fan. Also from the 916, I'm done with this team. I'm boycotting the rest of the season. Why do the fans care more about this team than the players and organization? This team is soft and uninspired. I think every single player outside Sabonis should be on the trade block. See you next season.
Every single player. That includes De'Aaron Fox, he's saying too. But that's and Kings fans, I get it. You go to bed angry. And basically, you wake up angry today. Basically, midway through the day, you're like,
and you're hanging on to that hope that, well, maybe they'll do something today, right?
Exactly.
Well, what are we going to do? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
It's tough.
916-339-1140. I want to get that out there. 916-339-1140. You can call in, voice your frustrations, because me and you can't be the only ones frustrated. People on the text line can't be the only one frustrated. This is a tough day to be a Kings fan right now because you're frustrated and angry. Yeah, frustrated and angry. You said it. Because everybody else, at least they did something. The buyers we talked about, they're going for it. OKC, they're going for it. Some of these other Phoenix, they're going for it. Dallas, they're going for it. The Kings, right now, we're sort of we're just going to play the long game.
The only hope now is the buyout market, but A, there's obviously not a lot of great players available there. And B, for the buyout market, it's like free agency, right? The guy has to want to come.
Right, got to want to come here.
Yeah.
And usually what winds up happening, and fortunately the league has rules now where a team like Boston, because they're so far over the cap, they can't just stockpile and get buyout. But usually what happens is a free agent will say, you know what? Who has the best shot at winning? And I'm going to go join that team. So. Yeah. I
like everybody else, I'm following along on Twitter, on the computer, watching for updates. And I turned on the ESPN trade show and I'm watching. It's right about before the deadline. And Malika Andrews, and it's almost like she said it as an aside. And the Kings would pick up Robin Lopez. I was like, what?
Right.
What did you say? What? I couldn't believe it. And then, and I didn't realize right away that they were I didn't understand that at all. And then it turns out they're going to release him for cash consideration.
For some money.
So that's what we got. Cash consideration.
Well, hold on. Let's give cash considerations a chance to see what they can do with rotational minutes.
Cash considerations has a tremendous mixtape.
Exactly, right?
Let's not just dismiss cash considerations until we see them in the lineup.
I think the timing was just bad for the Kings in this sense. I think they pretty much had decided, Kyle, we're probably not going to do anything, and then it just even looks worse. That would have been, as we've been saying for weeks, that's going to be a hard sell.
Right.
But then for it to come after, they probably figured we're not going to lose to Detroit.
Right.
But that's why it looks even worse and it's harder to stomach.
It's harder to stomach. And, Monty and Wes and those guys, they stay even keeled. They don't listen to the outside pressure or the noise and everything like that. But, man, it's a tough day right now.
Yeah.
This is hard to swallow.
You want to take a quick time out and go to Drape's Takes, or you want to keep it here?
No, we can take quick. Yeah, let's do a quick one. Let me get myself together.
We'll give everybody a chance to catch our breaths here. Drape's Takes are next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports is home to the Kings, Niners, and now the business of sports. Hosted by Kelly Brothers and brought to you by Cap Trust, offering customized, independent financial advice at captrust.com. Join Kelly Brothers, Carmichael, Dave, and Jason as they look at the business of sports every Thursday at 7:40 a.m. You want to know how sports really work? Follow the money with Kelly Brothers from Cap Trust on Sactown Sports.
This time check is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Let's be honest, the Kings talk not especially pleasant this hour. Sean from Placerville on the text line, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140 Drapes. Giving up my season tickets next year.
Just because of last night and today, Sean? You ready to say, I'm done, I'm not watching?
Maybe he'll rethink it.
They're still a winning team, 29-21. They're still okay. Mm-hmm. Life is still okay, Sean. Jeez, how long have you had season tickets, I wonder?
The Boopers were out early last night.
They were out big time, and Malik Monk did not care for those Boo Birds either. And so I'm with the fans, though. You know, my take on that is the best way, I think, for fans to show their displeasure is to boo. Like, what else you want them to do? Throw things? Lead a game early? Mm-hmm. Don't show up? Don't buy tickets?
No,
I think booing, that's an appropriate response for what we saw last night.
Here's what's disturbing to me, because sitting there last night and watching that and hearing that, and we've had this discussion before, and I understand, and fans have a right to boo, no question. But, you know, typically we boo because we feel like somebody's not giving their best effort. And this team, I don't feel like that was the case last. They didn't play well. They did not play well, and they were getting beaten on just like a drum to the rack. But sometimes it's like they're just not a good defensive team. And I don't know how much of it is, they're dogging it. I don't know. I don't see a lot of dog in this team, but I do see there are too many nights like last night where they're clearly not good enough.
You know what I didn't see, though, Whitey, is the sense of urgency. It started out fine, A-okay. It started out, but then the Pistons came back with their haymaker. Kings came back, closing the third on a nice little run, took the lead, got back in the game. And then we just did. There's levels to this.
Yep.
We let the Pistons,
well, you got physically manhandled by a 7-win team.
Yes.
That's what physically outclassed.
Exactly. And so, and I know Mike Brown talked about this yesterday. People are like, this is not a scheme problem. They're not following the game plan. And if Mike Brown calls it unacceptable, I'm going to call it unacceptable also, because I know what they talk about in terms of closing out and how to defend. Like, I've been in some of those meetings. Trust me, the narrative on Alec Burks was he's a hot guy. You got it. When you close out on him, you got to close out with hands up above the 3-point line. Don't close out to the 3-point line. You got to close out.
And you can't close out short.
Can't close out. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And how many times did we see that? And Mike Brown said it yesterday, too. Our guys don't raise their hand to defend a shot until the guy's already up. By that time, it's too late in the NBA. And so this isn't a scheme thing. This isn't a Mike Brown thing. This one is on the players. And I go back to something I said about a month ago when they were struggling. We need player leadership. We need guys on the floor holding each other accountable. Other than Kevin Huerter, maybe Domas, maybe Malik, I'm not seeing any, you know what? This is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Herter got ejected, and I'm okay with that. Good for him, because at least he's pissed off about something. Some of these guys, I don't know if they're angry about these losses right now, and that's concerning to me, because there's no way, Whitey, here we are in game 50. There is no way that you can have all the losses that they've had this season and then come out like that last night. And then, you know, De'Aaron Fox, you know, didn't seem to bother him. I'm sure, hopefully it does bother him on the inside, but he's projecting, it's just 1 of 82. No, it's not 1 of 82, because each game matters so much. At the end of the season, when you are planning a play-in tournament, I'm going to say, you know what? I'm going to hold up a sheet right there on this air.
Absolutely.
And say, Charlotte, Portland, Detroit, I could go down the list. These games right here are why your butts are at home early in April and didn't get into May and didn't get into the playoffs. It's so frustrating right now, man.
All right. Let's get to...
what we got? Drape Tanks? Oh, my gosh. Let's do it.
Calm down, Lion. Calm down. Take it easy, man.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Kings fans, you got to do me a favor. This isn't necessarily a take. It's just a plea to Sacramento Kings fans. Can we please leave Jaden Ivey's name out of your mouth? I don't want to hear no more comparisons between Jaden Ivey and Keegan Murray and look who we got, look who you got. That talk is done. Let these guys develop. Jaden Ivey is a hell of a ball player. He proved it last night. And so going into the game, I heard people chirping about how, you know, I'm so glad we didn't get Jaden Ivey. I'm so glad we got Keegan Murray. Jaden Ivey is nice. He is nice. And this dude's only a second-year player. Like, he took over that game. He was the best player on the floor last night when you got all NBA guys, multiple All-Stars, a number 4 overall pick. He outscored Keegan 37-0. So we need to leave Jaden Ivey's name out of our mouth.
He was the best player on the floor, and everybody on the floor knew it.
Everybody on the floor knew it. So that's just a little observation, a little plea to Sacramento Kings fans. As for the Kings, I'm going to say this. The All-Star break can't come soon enough for this team. This team is gassed. They're tired. They're shaken up. Mentally, I feel like this team feels like they've been in a blender this last month or so. Malik Monk talked about it, the roller coaster ride, up and down. This team needs a week to get away from each other, go enjoy your families, and come back for the stretch run. Because the way it's going now, we're looking at De'Aaron Fox with 12 points. I'll get to him in a minute. We're looking at Keegan Murray with 0 points last night. I'll get to these guys need a break, I think, Whitey.
You're right. I still think the bottom line is they're not good enough defensively, and I think that's the main problem, and we're going to be on the roller coaster all year long, and there's going to be a few games where, hey, they're playing well. When you can't guard people, you can't consistently win in the NBA, and that's what I'm disappointed about. They didn't address that at the deadline.
Yeah, you're letting Detroit shoot 55% for
whatever they wanted.
50, like they got whatever they wanted. And that brings me to the players, and I'm going to call 2 guys out specifically. I'm going to start off with De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, you can't be cool. You can't be too chill. If you want to be Tatum, I'm looking at Donovan Mitchell tear up everybody he goes against. De'Aaron Fox cannot go 5 of 14, 12 points, and miss all 4 of your free throws? Foxy, you're the face of the franchise. You're the leader. You got to be better. I don't know what's going on.
We need De'Aaron Fox. We need M-E-E-D.
100%, Mike Brown. What's going on with De'Aaron Fox? I've given him a pass. I said everything's okay. He's banged up. But the eye test last night looked like I'd rather De'Aaron Fox be 5 of 25 than 5 of 14.
It's got to be the shoulder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be. And it's affecting his shooting. And then the rest of it, you're right. Maybe he's not approaching it the best way after these losses. Maybe there's a better approach. Hopefully the approach with his teammates is different than what we're getting publicly.
Can we talk about my guy, Keegan Murray?
Keegan!
He didn't make any shots yesterday, so Scott Boak didn't do that.
He only took 4,
right? That's what I'm talking about, Whitey. I said it yesterday.
Yeah.
Keegan has to be better. I don't know if it's on Mike Brown to get him more involved. I don't know if it's on Domas and Fox to get him. Is it on Keegan Murray? But what we saw last night, unacceptable from Keegan Murray. He only played 20 minutes, but he was a non-factor. He shot an air ball 3 from the corner last night in the third quarter. He wasn't there, so people want to get on Mike Brown. Mike, you only played him 20 minutes. Didn't play at all in the fourth quarter.
Foul trouble.
Keegan didn't earn to be on the floor in the fourth quarter. You got to earn minutes. We know how Mike Brown is. He's going to go with the guys who are playing well that night. Keegan, I was disappointed last night. He has to be better. 4 shot attempts for Keegan Murray? And this goes back to, remember, on the road trip, he had to stretch 3 games in 4 where he scored 5 points. What's going on with him?
It's 11 times this year now where he's taken fewer than 10 shots in a game. 5 of the last 6 games included.
If Harrison Barnes had that stat line, phone lines would be lit up. Trade HB.
Yeah.
He's got to go. We can't give Keegan a pass. He's too good of a player. We got to demand excellence from this guy. He's the number 4 overall pick. He has to be better for this team.
Yeah. You know, if somebody didn't know that much about basketball, watch that game last night, and then you told them, Detroit's missing a ton of players, they would say, they must be the greatest team of all time.
Right? They're missing 3 of their top 7 players last night.
Yeah, they destroyed the other team.
Unbelievable. That's Drapes takes, man. I'm disappointed, man. I'm flabbergasted. I'm just like,
you
what happened?
Bamboozled?
I got hoodwinked last night because we all thought, Detroit. You know what? Going into that game, I thought Adam Silver did us a solid. He said, these guys got a 7-game road trip. Let me give them somebody a little easier when they got back home. Thank God for the Pistons. And the Pistons smacked us up last night.
You think maybe Frankie can make you feel better?
Heck no.
Frankie's
like Mr. Rogers, right? He's going to try to make us feel better, but I don't know.
Frankie Cartoscelli on where the Kings go from here. He joins us next. Sactown Sports Drive, guys.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Styles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H test versus API SP test limits.
Payment on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 25 years, or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the hot new Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke line of drivers, fairways, hybrids, and iron sets that are sweeter from every spot. AI Smoke is designed with thousands of real player data and a revolutionary new AI Smart Face for sweet spots across the entire face. Ask about the full line of Callaway Paradigm AI Smoke woods and irons and find your sweet spot at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down.
Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury, for almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPfest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
When it's chilly cold at night, don't just add another blanket. Add a new furnace system instead. Now for as low as $5,999 with 0% interest and no payments for 18 months. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
On a more pleasant note, I believe today is the anniversary of Jason Williams' first game as a King. You know, he played in a lockout year, so the season started late.
Okay.
So that's something you can remember today by. Hopefully not the fact that the Kings did nothing at the deadline. What do you think is upsetting people more today, Drapes? The fact that they lost to Detroit or the fact that they stood pat at the deadline?
I think that they lost to Detroit, to be honest with you. I think that's inexcusable. That may be the worst loss in the last 5 years. This may be the worst loss in my tenure here in Sacramento.
Is it worse than the game where the fan threw up on the court and then Luke Walton got fired the next day?
Yes.
Oh, that's more embarrassing. But in terms of a loss,
yes.
One game, this was pretty bad.
Let's see if our Sactown Sports Kings Insider agrees. Joining us, the one and only Frankie Cartoscelli. Frankie, thanks for being with us. You were just at practice today, right?
No, so I actually got held up with the post-deadline write-up. And I got a little immersed into a piece I wrote. Make sure people out there check it out. Yes. I just finished and published it on the website. Some thoughts, maybe a mental vent session on my half. But Brendan Nunez and I, we split duties today, and he's down there right now. I'm not sure if they're actually in yet. I think that they're having to do the wait and get let in situation. But, yeah, we'll be down there tomorrow. But an interesting day, interesting 24 hours for the Sacramento Kings and the fans, and good callback by Kyle to that Luke Walton vomit night. I would say that was a kind of a different situation as far as a just miserable couple of hours. But yeah, not a great couple of sequences here as far as last night's loss into the deadline today. But little unpleasant times going on right now in the Kings fandom.
What upsets you more, the deadline inactivity or the loss to the Pistons last night?
I'm always going to stick with on the floor. I mean, when you see the Kings, who had a pretty much fully healthy roster last night, I don't think there's really any excuses at this point with where this team is and where they want to be, the spot they want to be considered as far as a true contender in the Western Conference. You face a team that has 6 wins, and they're missing their 2 top scorers, a combined 42 points per game in Cade Cunningham and Bojan Bogdanovic, before he was traded, of course. But there's no excuse. The fact that the Kings let their guard down, and we've seen them do it again and again against these teams that are beneath them in the standings, or more so the worst teams in the league, like the Charlottes, the Portlands, and now Detroit. they just don't really seem to have that same edge at the beginning of games. And you saw Detroit kind of hang around and go on a run late in the second quarter, and in the fourth, it just was completely all Detroit. So I'm definitely on the court, but the deadline for different reasons, a disappointment as well.
Frankie Cartoscelli joining us, Sactown Sports Kings Insider. Frankie, when you look at what transpired last night, what stood out to you? Is it De'Aaron Fox's, 12 points and missing 4 free throws? Is it Keegan Murray, non-existent? Jaden Ivey? Like, what was the issue last night? What was the biggest takeaway storyline last night?
I think De'Aaron Fox is being the motor of this team, and we've seen it happen a couple of times this year now. When he's not right, the Kings really aren't right. I mean, we've seen what Domantas Sabonis can do every single night, and you kind of come to expect it. He's almost averaging a triple-double. He's been doing it for over a year now, part of that time with a broken hand. He's been incredible since he's been in a Kings uniform. But especially when Fox doesn't have it, and he really didn't have those shots in the key that he usually knocks down those 8-10 footers when he's around the rim. I mean, he usually is automatic with those. That's why he won Clutch Player of the Year last year. He just kind of gets into the paint and can make teams pay. He doesn't look like himself right now. And I think he's averaging around 22, 23 points per game over his last 10 games on 41% shooting from the field, 30% from three. The assist numbers are down. The steals are up. I mean, he's playing good defense, but the offense is what makes him truly an all-NBA talent. And when he's not knocking down those shots, the Kings really have to kind of pick it up across the board. And what we've seen from guys like Harrison Barnes and Kevin Huerter, they've been able to find those internal improvements. But the Kings really haven't had everybody firing on all cylinders, more than maybe for a 1 or 2 game sample size. They haven't had last year's record-setting offense, that type of impact, which is very hard to replicate. But when you have all those guys firing on all cylinders, the Kings are a very hard team to beat, and we just haven't seen it happen. And Fox is the head of the snake, and when he doesn't have it, Kings suffer, and we saw that last night.
Frankie, I'm going to go ahead with Frankie gets carded now because it leads to a question. Get it out of the way. And I know you can't see it, but this is actually a 2023 Jaden Ivey card. And it's a very nice card. And, of course, he was the man last night, and you so often are the man for us here, Frankie. So you've earned that. But my question is, he just lit up the Kings. What stood out to you about Coach Brown's explanation for where the defense broke down last night?
I mean, it really just kind of comes to the on-ball situation, and I think Fox even just kind of gave credit and tipped the cap to Jaden Ivey, who maybe he was playing with a little bit of extra motivation, maybe a chip on his shoulder. Last night was the matchup we were looking for with the 2022 top 5 pick showdown. Keegan Murray, 4th pick against Jaden Ivey. Keegan gets in early foul trouble, who I think Keegan was picking him up early on, gets into foul trouble, 4 first-half fouls, don't really see much from the rest of the game. Clearly on the scoreboard or the box score, you see Jaden Ivey with 35 and Keegan with 0. Looks bad, looks horrible. But you got to tip your cap to Jaden Ivey. I mean, no matter what the Kings are kind of throwing at him, and again, part of that is because of lapses in defensive rotations. A lot of times he got free, and you just could see guys just sprinting, just trying to close out as fast as they could. Just the Kings were always a step or two behind on those rotations, and it's not really just an Ivy problem. I think it's just a matter of the Kings' defense. It happens to a lot of teams. I mean, it's been like a game of which team's going to have a season high in 3-point field goal percentage on any given night. I mean, we've seen it happen time and time again. Last night, Detroit, 50% from 3. You're not going to win many games in the NBA when opponents are shooting 50% from 3. It's just not going to happen. And especially when you factor in the rebound discrepancy. But again, it's a matter of one of those games. I mean, we've seen it in the NBA a lot this year. Guys are just scoring at a level we haven't seen really before. Jaden Ivey, a guy who has talent, who has shown he could be a player at this level, he's starting to kind of come into his own as Detroit figures out what their future is going to look like. And last night we saw kind of a glimpse into maybe what they're hoping he can turn into. And it's a very scary thing for opponents in the East.
Frankie Cartoscelli joining us. Frankie, Keegan Murray, what's going on with him, man? I'm looking at the numbers. Last 4 games, 5 points per game. Only getting up 6.5 shots. Why is he being lost in the offense? What's happening?
Yeah, I kind of was looking at that today in that write-up I put up about how Harrison Barnes, his field goal attempts. I mean, with Harrison Barnes getting more volume, he was at around, I think, 7-8 field goal attempts per game, and he's up to 16 per game over this 9-10 game stretch. Keegan's fallen from 13.1 on the season down to below, I think, 8-9 on over those games over the past 6-7 games. So it's kind of like that situation where it's been a concern with if one of those forwards are going to get going, what happens to the other? And it's kind of like a teeter-totter situation. Whose turn is it to kind of contribute on any given night? And we've seen Harrison Barnes, who last night wasn't a great night for him either, but over the course of the last 10 games, he's been playing some good basketball, some of the best basketball he's had in a Kings uniform. But Keegan Murray suffered as far as getting more volume or less volume, and he just looks like a different player right now. But the foul trouble last night was was kind of out of character for him. We don't see him usually get into that much of a situation where he has to be on the bench that much. 20 minutes played last night. That's not usually what happens with Keegan. But something that the Kings are kind of trying to figure out right now, as far as the offense wasn't working. They were trying to figure things out. Kevin Huerter and Harrison Barnes have locked in. Kevin Huerter shooting 45% from three over the past 12 games. He was great last night. Harrison Barnes, like we talked about, just he's been playing well. But is there a way to get those guys all going in unison? And that's asking a lot. But last year, that's what happened a lot of the time. I mean, it mostly was Keegan, Kevin, Fox, and Sabonis. But we haven't really seen all these guys kind of going in unison. For the Kings this season, it feels like it's been a matter of which guy is going to put the team on his back, and can someone maybe help? And it's not more of a cohesive group effort. It's more of a two-man thing. And that's a problem. So that's when the Kings now, if the deadline's over, no help's walking through that door. You got to hope they can figure that out internally. And they've done it before, and got to hope they can kind of go back to what they did last year and see if they can find success there.
You know, this is why I love having Frankie on, especially after nights like last night, trade deadline today. He's so calm. He's so smooth. He tells you what's going on.
He compared you to Mr. Rogers earlier.
Did you hear that, Frankie? Did you hear that?
Yeah, that's a good thing, right? I mean,
heck no, not in sports. In life, you know, if I was a parent and you were my son, I'd be proud of you. Yes. But in sports talk radio, Frankie, I'm upset. I'm frustrated. Like, you're being measured. I know all those things. Like, how can this happen, though? Where you cover this team, you see these guys. Like, where's the pulse at from these guys? I shouldn't have it. Whitey shouldn't have it. The fan base shouldn't have it. Mike Brown shouldn't be the only one. Like, what is going on? This cannot happen, what we saw the last 24 hours, Frankie.
No, I agree, Drapes. I think to that, I would just say why I am the way I am right now is I'm just, I guess, is to get dark. I'm a broken man inside as far as the Kings go.
That's the worst.
I grew up a Kings fan, man. I grew up watching the Kings in the early 2010s, 2009, all those teams. I was there somewhere in Arco, like a lot of people listening, watching those teams. So I think a lot of those have gone through that and kind of experienced the horror that we had to see unfold. I mean, things are bad right now. Losing to Detroit, ridiculous. And the deadline, we're going to have a lot of talks about that over the coming months. Again, the Kings have had many chances to make these moves to try to upgrade the roster. They had a chance last summer. They had a chance during the season while other teams were making moves. They were obviously involved with Pascal Siakam, OG Anunoby. Nothing happened. And again, with today, a lot of people are very frustrated on social media, and it's very warranted. I mean, the Kings are in a good spot, I guess, overall, 29-21, but they expect more from themselves. This team expects more from themselves. The fans expect more from this team.
Yeah,
and
Frankie. Yeah. Go ahead.
Montgomery and West Wilcox, yeah, they are calculated. They are not going to make a move just to make a move. I have no doubt there were deals that were presented to them, and they said no. I mean, I don't think it was a matter of the phone was turned off or off the hook, and Monty and West are hanging out watching TV or something. They're working. They're doing all they can, but nothing came up. Nothing came to fruition, and it's for a lot of teams out there as well. I mean, a lot of Laker fans and Warrior fans are losing their minds right now too. It's not just the Kings. So it was a very dead deadline, I think, overall. Just there wasn't many sexy moves out there. A lot of them were kind of happening early on with the Anunoby and Pascal Siakam moves, but it's a frustrating time, no doubt. I'm just not gonna I'm gonna let the season unfold and see what happens, but obviously the team has holes, and we're going to have to see if they can address them internally. There's no other choice.
Yeah, Frankie, I'm glad you addressed that, because there's this rumor that Wes and Monty were watching Styles and Watkins on YouTube right before the deadline, and they weren't doing anything, but I don't think that was true. But Frankie, he speaks from the heart, because last night before the game, when we were having dinner, he showed me on his phone video of the first Kings game that he ever went to. We started talking about that for some reason. And it was C-Web against Denver, I think, wasn't it, Frankie? He had the scoop shot to win. And, he said right then he was hooked. So when he talks about how much he hurts, he's really hurting today. Yeah, so.
Yeah, I'm as good at hiding it, You've got to be good at hiding it. You got to be good at hiding it. It's a long season, though. Everybody listening, anyone feeling upset about it? I mean, the Kings are such a shocking, ridiculous team sometimes that it would not surprise me at all if they go out tomorrow and have a great game against Denver. We'll see. I mean, I'm just saying the way that this team is, it's frustrating, I know, but this upcoming stretch is so difficult that and a lot of people are kind of, echoing the same sentiment that, wow, the Kings, their next 9 games are against contenders that I wouldn't be surprised if they go 6-3. I wouldn't either, because they are a team that they get up for big games and they get down for games against Detroit. So bad 24-hour stretch, but it's not the end of the world. Not yet.
Thank you, Frankie. We appreciate it. When we come right back, we'll look at NBA trade deadline winners and losers, and we'll get to your calls at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports is hitting the road on our Jiffy Lube road trip. Join Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row in Las Vegas Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 as they get you ready for the big game.
Plus, we have additional coverage on all our shows from Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross and the Drive Guys.
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and me the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Jiffy Lube, your place for oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I could not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought him. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now, and the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products, and we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Here's a difficult question for Kings fans today. I don't know the answer. I think after last night, it's fair to bring this up, Drapes. And this kind of gets to the heart of it. Normally, it wouldn't even be fair to bring something like this up, but today I think it is.
Okay.
There's one of the Major League movies. I think it's 3 or I don't know. 3 or how many did they do? There's a Japanese player in the Major League movie, and he comes over from Japan. He's playing, with the team, and he questions the courage of one of his teammates. And he says, he's a Japanese speaker, so his English is a little, it's not expert. He's not an expert speaker. He says, "You have no mabarus." Talking to one of his teammates, "You have no mabarus." Is that really where we are with this King team? Can we look at these Kings and say, sometimes as a team, you have no mabarus?
Mabarus.
Yeah. You can probably find that somewhere, Kyle, by the way.
Yeah, we might need to play that.
From the widely successful movie Major League 3.
Yes, exactly. Box office smash, right?
I don't think it was from 2, but anyway.
That's concerning to me, Whitey, and because I think, if I'm being honest, that's what it's looking like. It's looking like we don't have any mabarus.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know guys care. We see it. We see Domas. We see Herder. We see Malik. But when the going gets tough, we don't push back. We don't fight back. We don't, slam a ball. We don't commit a hard foul. We don't challenge each other. At times it looks like, it looks like they just accept whatever is happening. They just accept Jaden Ivey going off at 37. They just accept Jalen Duren getting every rebound. They just accept the Pistons defense locking you down in the first half after you go on your initial run. It seems like we have one gear. And when somebody punches us or knocks us off we don't know how to get back on track and then, push even harder. And when I first arrived here in Sacramento, that was one of my biggest criticisms of the team and of the franchise. They were front runners to an extent. Teams knew all you got to do is punch the Kings in the mouth once and they'll go run and hide. They'll fold. I'm not saying that's where we are now, but at times that's what it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it looks like. And that's so frustrating to me.
It is.
And that's why we've said it for the last year, Whitey. However long we've been doing this show, however long we've been talking about the Kings, we need somebody in the locker room that's going to shake things up.
You have no matters.
There you go.
There it is, right there.
Mm-hmm.
They had no matters. Seriously,
they look that way sometimes.
We need somebody in the locker room, and I'm going to tell it to you like this. Kyle Ledbetter, I'm going to tell it to you like this. I'm going to tell it to everybody. We need somebody in the locker room who hates losing.
Have no matters.
I don't feel like our guys hate losing.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our guys don't like losing, but they say, "Oh, there's another game tomorrow. We'll be okay." No, you got to go home, stew on it. You got to go home, get in the gym. I told the story of DeJounte Murray, who had a bad game on the road. His team lands at the airport in Atlanta at 1:30, and what does he do? He goes to the gym and gets up shots. I feel like at times our guys, once they leave the gym, once they leave the arena, you got the family, you got the home life. I get it. I understand that. And you forget about it. But after a loss like last night, Whitey, they should be out there running laps right now.
339-1140.
You have no matters.
1-800-920-1140. Hate to even ask that question, but after nights like last night, it's fair to wonder. Let's talk to Mike on Sactown Sports. Thanks for hanging, Mike. What's up?
Oh, well, first off, guys, I just want to talk about the trade deadline. We didn't make a move. Everybody knows that. But could they possibly make a move with a rotation, right? I would like to see Domas as a 4 and maybe Lynn or McGee as a 5. And then I feel like keeping Barnes is actually a good move for the Kings because you want a player like Barnes. A lot of people are bashing Barnes. You want a player like that. He doesn't get teased. By the way, Herder, somebody explained how he got a tee last night and ejected. That's strange. But Barnes, to me, is like the locker room guy. As far as the Kings not having a dog, they kind of showed that earlier this year that we're not going to get bullied by Nurkic, and you had your two top players offensively, Fox and I believe Monk was in that guy's face, like, get off of our guy. Davion Mitchell, I'm kind of happy he stayed in town. He doesn't get a lot of points, but he does a small thing. And maybe they realize, hey, this is who we are. We're not trading. Everybody's still in the same locker room. It's the same locker room that almost beat the Warriors. What do you guys think about that?
Thank you, Mike. I know you're not crazy about the loss at the 4.
We saw that last night. The Pistons went small. You got to go small too. Like Domas is not running around the perimeter guarding guys, and then offensively, JaVale and Alex Lynn aren't great outside shooters. So, it just clogs everything up. We're going to have Jay Triano coming on at 3:15. And one of the things I'm going to ask him, because he's been around the league, he's coached in the league. Do you need, because we got a room full of nice guys. If our daughters went to prom with any of our players, we'd be happy. But do you need some jerks on your roster too? Do you need some guys who, going to get upset after a loss? Like, I know it's one of 82. I understand that. But when the fan base is booing you, when the fan base is frustrated, we have to acknowledge that. And I'm talking about the players. We got to say what happened out there, our fans deserve better. And I think, what De'Aaron said last night, and hopefully Kyle will effort this for the show sometime. I get it, De'Aaron. It's one of 82. But after a loss like that, I don't think fans want to hear that. They don't want to hear one of 82.
What I want to hear right now is Bill. Bill joins us on Sactown Sports. Hey, Bill, how are you?
Real good. My comment is that I think the Kings did, I know the Kings did last night, what has never been done in the history of the NBA. And you know what that is?
What's that?
Being favored by 13 points and losing by 13 points. Has anyone brought that up before?
No, I didn't know that stat. I didn't know that.
They lost by 13 and they were favored to win the game by 13. And that is probably the history of the NBA. I don't think it's ever been done before. That's my comment of the day.
Thank you, Bill.
Sir. Thank you.
There probably have been times when someone was favored by more and lost by more, but I understand what you're saying, the symmetry of 13 and 13.
Yeah.
However you slice it. It was hard to understand watching it, Kyle. I assumed third quarter, it's the NBA. Okay, the Kings are going to make their run. I don't know where it's going to end up, but they're going to make the run. Then they make the run and they get the lead. And I thought, okay, well, all right, here they go. They, they'll find a way to finish. And then
it was that right.
Fourth quarter was like, wow, the Pistons on the road were like, let's show you let's give you a clinic and how to close a win on the road.
Detroit scored 31 in the first, 39 in the second, 27 in the third, and 36 in the fourth. Go back to what you've been saying the last hour. The defense is bad. It's just not a good defense. Not when Detroit can come into your house and knock down 17 threes, 55%. Like, even if you don't hit your shots against a team like Detroit, who really only got one or two real good offensive weapons, you should be able to lock in, and you let that team score 133.
And I think until the Kings are better defensively, significantly better, which it's hard for me to imagine this group getting a lot better defensively until they are, I think we're going to be on the roller coaster. That was my takeaway last night. As disappointing as it was, is like, I get it now. I mean, that's just, I was hoping they'd do something today, but until they do, I think that's where we are. And you just have to hope that they can figure out how to hang on. And who knows, last year, they were worse defensively and they almost got out of the first round. So fingers crossed, let's go.
Yeah, 100%. And, there's still 32 games left to go.
Yeah.
Still time to turn it around. But we've been saying that for 2 months now. And it's the same problems here in February that we experienced in November and December. And that's frustrating.
Yep. Jay Triano coming up 3:15, as you said. And up next, I don't know if the Kings are who we thought they were, but once again, they are who we feared they were. With the Drive Guys, that's next year at Sactown Sports.
It started with 32 teams back in September with one goal. Now we're down to the final 2 with a chance to earn the coveted Lombardi Trophy.
It's Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs look to go back-to-back while the San Francisco 49ers seek their 6th Super Bowl title.
Super Bowl 58, Sunday at 3:30 on your home for the NFL. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. The ugly truth is when you buy a timeshare, you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is this never ends. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com. Or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Jay Triano is going to join us just a moment. Kings assistant coach. Drive Guys here. As far as last night goes, you know, it's a tough day for Kings fans. Hard to understand loss last night. And then, of course, nothing going on today at the trade deadline. As far as last night, you know, there's no defending it. The Kings didn't defend anybody last night. There's no defending what happened last night. But as far as the deadline, I do think, bottom line, it was a matter of what's out there. What do we have to give up? We're better off not doing it. And that's really hard for us all to accept because we saw how challenged they were last night. There are needs that need to be addressed. But these are smart guys running this team. Last night, I have no answer. That was awful. But I think I trust Monty McNair in this case. If they didn't make a move, my feeling is there probably was nothing there that would have made sense long term. Maybe short term, maybe would have been excited about, they gave up all these guys for Kyle Kuzma. But long term, I trust in Monty as far as that goes. I do. I'm sorry.
No, see, I love watching you make these kind of points because you don't give me eye contact. I feel like you're, acting a little bit and everything.
No, I
like
do.
this.
I do.
But all right, I trust him too. How long are we going to trust him? Trade deadline last year.
Right.
Off season. Trade deadline this year. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm playing the role of Freddie the fan.
Yeah.
We've had 3 opportunities, Whitey, to improve this team.
And what should they have done? We don't know.
We don't know. We really don't know.
Right.
But it's all, it's talking a lot of big game. It's getting everybody excited. We all see, eventually you got to do something. You got to do something, right? You can't just run it back.
And we don't know what the options were, but you should never do something just to do something.
True.
But fans would feel better today if they'd done that. That's what I'm saying. Right now, it's really frustrating. It's possible that with the passage of time, we will see that last night stunk no matter what, okay? But maybe they were better off not doing anything.
Stop believing Monty McNair.
I love that.
Stop believing Monty McNair.
Yes.
But here's the issue with that, though, and I hear you. In a vacuum, that sounds great. But it's like, how should I put this? I'm king of the...
now who's not making eye contact?
No, I know. I'm thinking about this. It's like having some friends, Whitey. You got a nice bike.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet bike. Get you from point A to point B. When everybody else is going out there buying the motor scooters,
mm-hmm.
the e-scooters. Your bike will get you there, but you'll be left in the dust. That's what it feels like today. Dallas has gotten better. OKC's gotten better. Phoenix has gotten better. Heck, Phoenix got better in the offseason. They did something. At least, you say don't make moves just to make moves. At some point, you can't be cautious and, patient and like, no, you got to strike. You got to strike. And I don't know what the move was.
That's it.
But we do know this team as presently constructed is not a championship team. Can we all agree that?
Absolutely.
Was it a championship team this past offseason?
Nope.
Was it a championship team at the trade deadline last year?
No. Nope. What move would have made them a championship team now?
That's above my pay grade.
Well, I mean,
that's above my pay grade.
You got to have it both ways.
How come Kelly Olynyk or Ochai Agbaji would have moved them closer, in my opinion? Gordon Hayward would have moved them closer, in my opinion. As a bench guy to come in, I would have loved.
You need a wing defender.
You need multiple things, Whitey.
You need defense.
Let's call it like it is. Let's be honest, Sacramento Kings fans. How deep are we really with this franchise? When it's time to win a championship, how deep are we?
Well, we're nowhere near winning a championship.
That's what I'm saying. So you don't just need one thing. You need 2, 3, 4 things. At least go out there and move us closer to a championship.
But to me, it's clear what you need to get better. And if you're going to say, make this move, well, does it address those areas? No, but you're moving things around. That's the type of deal that I'm saying.
No, you need bench depth, too. We were talking about Royce O'Neal.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily a Royce O'Neal guy, but he's a rotation player that can help you. Right now, we're about 7 deep. Right now, Mike Brown, let's talk about it. You got Malik, and you got Trey off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Sasha, who's been in and out, obviously, with the ankles.
You didn't count Davion? Or you're not?
I'm not counting Davion.
Okay.
Davion's
he
solid.
Well last night,
he plays solid.
Fair enough.
I'm talking about guys that night in and night out, you're okay with going to war with.
But I'm telling you, we know that that's how they see it, that they see that they need wing depth. That's why we know they were in on OG Anunoby and they were in on Siakam and they couldn't get him. And there's nobody else like those guys. There are some guys that are somewhat similar. Jeremy Grant maybe is most similar. according to reports, and I don't know, but according to reports, Portland was just kind of, we don't really want to trade him.
You're talking starting level talent, though. I'm looking, and I said this the last week. Sometimes I think you need to fill in the side items, the 7, 8, 9, 10 in your roster. The reason why the Denver Nuggets won the championship, and we could talk about Jokic, we could talk about Murray, Gordon, but they also had a deep bench.
Mm-hmm.
You go back to the Warriors championship runs, the Celtics getting there. You got to have a deep bench, and right now we don't have a deep bench.
By the way, to that point, I'm not arguing with you, but to that point, Bob Myers was on today on the ESPN trade deadline show, and they were talking about Denver, and he said last year, without Jeff Green and Bruce Brown, Denver doesn't win the championship.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Bruce Brown didn't go anywhere. I think that's interesting.
I think that's interesting. What was the asking? Where they wanting 2 first? That sounds like it might have been, too expensive.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other guys that could have helped you. And, I'm looking at this text right here. Come on,
Bruce
Drake.
Brown could have helped you.
You're
right.
smarter than that. 1 or 2 pieces closer at a price that compromises the future, it would be a mistake. Patience is the key. What is compromising the future? Guys got moved for
draft picks.
Second round picks guys got moved for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we're going to hang on to our first round draft picks, we in trouble then. We in trouble because those 24, 25, 26 picks, that's not going to get us. That's not going to get us.
I think only 2 first-round picks changed hands today between the Olynyk trade and the P.J. Washington deal. I think those were the only first-round picks that changed hands of the whole final 24 hours of the deadline.
You can't tell me Xavier Tillman couldn't have helped this team. I'm talking about toughness and grit. That guy would have. So maybe we don't get the Kuzmas, the Jeremy Grants, but there's still other ways to improve the roster without mortgaging the future.
Yeah, I just think they see particular needs that they must address. And by the way, I don't know that they're right or I don't know that they're wrong, but going back to what Sam Amick reported, all signs point, this was before the deadline, all signs point to the Kings keeping their current core and then some intact.
And then some.
Their current core and then some.
And when did he
this was about 4 or 5 hours ago, I think. They wanted to keep their current core. He said signs point to the Kings keeping their current core and then some intact while trying to add to it without losing any of their main rotation players.
I'm going to ask Jay Triano, obviously, about last night. But I also wonder, what does this team need to get to that champion? Like, I would love to have Monty McNair on the show because I want to hear his vision on, all right, maybe nothing was out there, but how do we get from where we're at now to a top 2-3 team in the league? What needs to happen?
Yeah. That the hard thing is that obviously Kings fans clearly saw last night, okay, well, this is not a championship team. You play like that, you're going to have a hard time, getting out of the play-in if you make the play-in. And then when the team says, yeah, but that's where we are, that's tough, right? You're a fan and you see that, I had higher expectations and hopes for the rest of this year.
If we're just talking about play-in, when we know one game, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Steph and the Warriors, LeBron and the Lakers. This team can, you know what it is?
You're in the plan right now, right? If the
they're 7 right now. The issue is this team right now is underachieving. And I think that's where the frustration is. This team can be better than what it is. And so if they live up to their potential and their potential is only a 7-8 seed, everybody's okay with it. But we know this team can be better. That's what's so frustrating. And I mentioned it. You're going to look back at there's 5 losses, I would say, that we're like, what the heck happened? I'm going to include that Philly loss. Remember, because there's no Joel Embiid that game. Philly was shorthanded in that game. I'm going to look at Charlotte. I'm going to look at Portland. I'm going to look at last night. I can look at the Milwaukee game. I can look at the Phoenix game. Those are 6 games. I could look at any one of the Pelicans games.
Totally
Give us any one of those games.
100% agree.
That's 6 or 7 games, Whitey, that we gave away. And so if you're in the play-in as a fan, it's hard to just be like, all right, we're in the play-in, it's all good. No, we should not have been in this position.
And I still think the defense, they have to improve defensively. And they like their core, right? They still, I think, see Domas, Fox, and Keegan as the core going forward. Nice enough to join us right now. Kings assistant coach Jay Triano. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason. Given full credit to Detroit, Coach, why do you think last night ended up being such a difficult matchup for the Kings?
Well, I don't. I wish I knew.
Yeah,
would have said something long before. I think the first game back after a lengthy road trip and all the time zones that we changed, it's playing in our minds. Our sleep patterns are all, but there's no excuse in it. You got to find a way for those 2 hours of the game to go out and be better than we were. We obviously, it was one of the games where for just a handful of games so far this year, I didn't think our energy and effort was as good as it needed to be. And they shoot 56% from the field and 55% from the three, and I think we were okay offensively, but we just had no resistance at the defensive end, and it made for a long night for us.
Coach Jay Triano joining us. Jay, I'm a guy, I speak with my emotions. I wear my hearts on my sleeve. Losing, I hate it. I hate what happened last night. What's the vibe inside the organization, the locker room? What was it like last night where, clearly Detroit's shorthanded? I know it's the NBA. Anybody can beat anybody. But is there a feeling that you let one get away last night?
Absolutely. I mean, and I think it still hurts today. But we talked about it as a staff. We talked about it with the players after the game. And, we did. We let one get away there. But at the same time, you mentioned it's right. It's the NBA. And, they're going to play 5 guys. We're going to play 5 guys. It's not like they were playing 5 against 4. Their guys outworked us, and that's a credit to them. But again, at the same time, today this is the NBA, and it's like, we're going to draw on this. And nope, you got another game tomorrow. We got to start preparing for that game. Can we learn from our mistakes? Absolutely. And that's what you hope happens, that we learn from this. And you think we'd learn from losing the Charlotte game at home, but we know we have to be better in this building. We've got great fans. We've got great support, and our defensive intensity and our defensive rating at home is not even close to as good as it is when we play on the road, and that's why our road record is so good. Our home record could be way, way better if we were a lot more locked in at the defensive end when we play at home, and make it tough for teams to want to come in here.
That's interesting. Yeah, Jay Triano with us, Kings assistant coach. And again, Coach, we appreciate your time very much, especially, the day after a loss. It's tough for everybody to swallow. What were the Kings doing best during the third quarter run, and why was that ultimately unsustainable for you?
Yeah, I think, we knew we were down, and we were like, okay, now we can turn it on. There's still a lot of games to play. We had like 4 fast breaks in the third quarter that kind of got us up and down. We got some steals. I think it all, the pace of the game leads to it. We made threes. We had us down for 16 missed open shots. So our shots were not really following, even though, we shot 34% on 44 threes. We think we can be better than that. We had open looks and we didn't make them. I thought Davion came in and created some juice for us. All night long it seemed that we were scrambling for a lineup that could get us going, and we thought we had it going there in the third quarter. We started the same group in the fourth, and we went from up 2 to up 4, and then all of a sudden, kind of maybe our legs gave out a little bit, but we hit that dry spell 3 minutes into the fourth quarter where it became tough for us to score and tough for us to get stops, and it just seemed like we'd score or miss a couple free throws, or anytime we did something, they'd come back and they'd hit a 3. So it was just like, getting double buried on some of those possessions.
Assistant Coach Jay Triano joining the Drive Guys here, Sactown Sports 1140. Coach, we've seen teams come in. Orlando have a franchise record with threes. Detroit last night shooting close to 55%. I know you guys preach closing out and defending the 3. It's such a big part. Why has the team struggled in that area, you think?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, we talk, we drill it every single day. We're not the longest team from the wing perspective to challenge or to change a lot of shots. But we try, if there's hot guys, we try to run them off. I may be wrong on this, but it seems like it's some of the guys that aren't hot that come in here and have great night shooting. But, you've got to be, very attentive to the game plan as far as who the shooters are, who we're going to run off. And frankly, some of them in the Orlando game, we get caught trying to defend a certain player, with a double team or a trap or a shift, and then that leaves a 3-point shot open. So, we're trying to take away rim points and we're trying to take away the three, but it just seems like teams come in here sometimes and they get it rolling on us.
Coach, how surprising is it to lose by double digits in a game in which you took really good care of the ball and only turned it over 4 times?
Well, that's why I say, like, offensively, wasn't a bad game. Like, except for the missed shots, and you score 120 points, you think that's enough. We were +8 in the transition game. We measure a thing called shot quality. It was our 6th best shot quality game of the season. Now, shot efficiency wasn't quite up there, and that's missing shots. But still, at the same time, you would think 120 points is enough, and unfortunately, last night it wasn't. And I wouldn't say we were as crisp as we'd like to be offensively either. So I'm not pinning it all on defense.
Coach, what can we do to get Keegan more involved? He just hit a little bit of a slump here the last week and a half or so.
Yeah, it's a good question. We're all trying to figure out how to get him going. And, I think this is just part of his being a young player, part of the journey figuring out the league. We're up against the trade deadline, the All-Star game, and All-Star break is in view. Everybody's looking for a little bit of a break to get away. It's been 50-something games already. And, I think getting and staying locked in is an NBA skill that young players still have to figure out. And, Keegan, I think he's been great for us. I don't even know if he was that bad. He missed a couple shots, but he seemed to get in foul trouble. That seemed to throw him off. And again, I think, adjusting to travel, adjusting to the NBA schedule, and learning how to play through all that is part of his growth process.
Coach, we've been talking all year long, of course, about the ups and downs of the season. And Malik mentioned it last night. He talked about, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. To me, the number one reason, there's obviously a lot of reasons. The biggest reason is the team just has not been able to be as consistent defensively as you guys would like. Do you agree? Is that maybe the number one reason the consistency has not been there this year?
Yeah. I think I think you could say that for the offensive end as well. You mentioned Keegan, HB hit a little bit of a spell there. He bounced back in the last 5 or 6 games. I don't think Foxy's been quite the same as he was a year ago as far as his ability to close games and get in the paint and make something happen down the stretch. So I don't know if you can blame it all on defense, but it is something we work on every single day, and we try to preach about getting better at that end of the floor, because realistically, when we are good defensively and with the speed that we have, we try to turn it into points going the other way. And it seems when we're good defensively, we get the offense flowing pretty good as well.
Assistant Coach Jay Triano joining us here on the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports 1140. Coach, Whitey just talked about the roller coaster. Malik talked about it. I'm living it as well. How do you guys stay even keeled? I mean, you've been around for a while. How do you stay even keeled through these ups and downs?
Well, I think, we have this motto, and I've learned this a long time ago, because, I'm the same, obviously, and last night was very emotional, and for me, it still hurts today. But at the same time, there's another game tomorrow, and we've got a real good team coming in here. And the NBA is relentless as far as the number of games rolling in, and we've got 4 and 6 days here before the break. So we can't sit here and sulk and whine and complain about a loss against the Detroit Pistons. We got a real good team coming in here, and for our growth, we focus on the process. One game at a time, one possession at a time, and play that possession the best that we can, and hopefully that turns into positive outcomes for us. We get caught up in outcomes a lot in this business, and business is about outcomes. But as a staff and as an organization, we focus on the day-to-day process, and hopefully the outcomes take care of themselves.
Coach, as we look at the roster and look at ways this team could be better the rest of the season, I look at Sasha, and he shows flashes and then he gets hurt. Is that fair to say there's a lot of room here still for him to kind of find a consistent role, stay healthy, start knocking down his shots? Is he a guy that could be a lot better the rest of the way than what we've seen so far?
Yeah, I think we've seen signs that, Sasha can really shoot the basketball and create space for Fox and Sabonis out there. And the injury kind of hurt him because I thought he was in a really good space as far as starting to find that role. And then you get injured, and then you're out of rotation, and then you got to find your way back and get healthy at the same time as finding your spot. So, it's never easy for guys in that position. And I thought he had fought himself out of, being on the bench to being a little bit more of a player, and then all of a sudden you get hurt. But that's why, this is such a team game, and somebody else has to step up. Somebody else has to take charge when you run into those, situations. But Sasha's definitely a guy that we need to be better in the second half here for sure.
Coach, looking at the schedule, obviously is difficult. Western Conference, every game means so much. You got Denver coming in. Give me an early scouting report on them, and how do you try to slow down Jokic?
Yeah, well, we've got them on a back-to-back, so they play tonight. So hopefully that's a good thing for us. They're very sound, obviously offensively, because they run so many things through him, and they've got Jamal Murray, who is a great player. But they defending champions, they've just got a great way about them. 12th ranked defense. They do a good job of taking away transition, which is kind of our forte. It's going to be tough. I mean, we know who we're up against, and it's going to be one of those games where technically and tactically they look really good, but this is one of those games where we better have a lot of fire because of the way our last performance played out. And sometimes you can make up for a lot of things, just the way we saw the Pistons come in here shorthanded, and a game where they weren't supposed to do very well. They came in here and outworked us. So we have to outwork them, number one. Number two, we have to find ways to move the ball from one side to the other. If he's going to play a lot of minutes, let's make him move. Let's tire him out, and maybe he becomes less effective at the offensive end.
Best of luck on the trip, Coach. Thank you again, and we hope to talk to you soon.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.
Coach.
Yeah, there you go. Jay Triano. We'll discuss everything he had to say when we come back. Also, we'll look at last night and what exactly fans were booing when the Drive Guys returned. Sactown Sports.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Styles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark, as I try and fill around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, parties, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hoblo Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
No one does spring travel like Amtrak. That's because now more kids ages 2 to 12 ride for 50% off. Not only will you travel comfortably, you'll save too. Book now at Amtrak.com. Restrictions apply. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from in the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings. Just wing it.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Book your free T-check and free exam at Revive Men's Health Sacramento. Now also offering affordable, cutting-edge weight loss medications. Call 916-277-8599 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Nada Subaru says yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Great lease offers and huge Nada says yes savings on over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus. See all the President's Day selection and savings at NadaSubaru.com.
Approved credit financing on 24 Outback.
Play and win with rewards that soar at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Sign up for Sky River Rewards and you'll get $20 free play to use on your first visit. Plus, you'll be the first to know about upcoming special events and offers. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Woo! Thanks for being with us on this difficult day for Kings fans. Somebody on the chat wanted us to ask what's wrong with Fox. I didn't ask what's wrong with Fox, Drapes, because I know coaches like that. If he knows, he's not going to tell you.
Right.
He's not going to go, let me tell you exactly what's wrong with you.
Well, he broke his shoulder last week. Or so, it's not happening.
So it's a waste of everybody's time. And he probably answered the same way Coach Brown's been answering, which is, I think he's fine. You can ask him, but he's fine as far as I know.
Right.
So that's why we didn't go there. On the text line, someone says, you heard it here first. They will not make the play-in. Dallas improved at the deadline. The 6 teams ahead of them are better. They are next to worst at defending the 3. Lakers, Warriors, and Houston will overtake them. They will lose 3 of the next 4 games.
Gosh.
Probably all 4.
Who is this person?
Talk about that.
Who is this person?
They don't put
Oh,
the
my
name
God.
on it.
Houston.
Herm Edwards, by the way, coming up today, and he'll remind you. Put your name on it. But how about that? He says, talk about that.
Man, I'm upset. I'm frustrated, but man, some people are jumping off. Some people jumping off the ship completely, giving away their season tickets, not renewing them next year. Like it's okay. Like I'm angry. I'm frustrated too, but let's not go too far. You're 29 and 21.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Javier from Vacaville with us on Sactown Sports. What's up, Jay?
Javier, what's up, man?
Yeah. We're having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Javier. Go ahead.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a wind tunnel, bro.
Nah, just driving. I know Mr. Gleason. I played 4 years high school football with both his nephews, for a long time.
Yeah.
And Mr. Draper, we talked at the King game. I'm sure you talked to hundreds, not thousands of people there. We just wrapped after the game. I said, appreciate you for keeping what you say on air, better for worse, genuine. And I'm frustrated because I don't want to hear this contention of we're going to aim for a championship conversation anymore from Sacramento. And I'm a Kings fan through and through since 1998. And it's no discredit to them, but they're not in the business of trying to win a championship. They're going to let the process run its course, and they're going to slow play. They're trying to do what Denver did before they got to where they got, and that was to the pinnacle last season. And there's nothing wrong with that. But this whole, we're going to chase and try to become a contender. We know, and the fans, even with Stevie Wonder-like eyes, can tell you that they don't have the defensive wherewithal to win a championship. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that they're not physical enough, they're not tough and interior, they have no solid perimeter defenders, and most importantly, they don't have a killer instinct. And that's not a flaw from the talent level, it's a flaw internally with the mindset. You can't make De'Aaron Fox make his moral morale that way. But when you see guys like Royce O'Neal getting traded for a second-round pick, and any of the guys that got flipped that you could have acquired for next to nothing, and the Kings are going to stand pat to keep their camaraderie of the team, that's absolutely ridiculous. But again, in Monty, we trust. I trust in him within reason. But to sit there and just twiddle your thumbs as teams in front of you, even with you and behind you, have got better, and we just stood pat. Last year was a little different because the microcosm was, hey, we're going to stay and let this rhythm and what we're at with our momentum, see where it runs and have that run its course. But now we see the team's deficiency has been for the last 20 years almost, 18 years has been defensively. And I just cannot sit there and look at all these players that got traded. And I'm not talking about the Kyle Kuzmas or the Zach LaVines or the, Jeremy Grants of the world, whatever it may be. But they keep harping back on we didn't get OG or Pascal. Okay, well, that's done. But there's guys that you could have got that could have helped you in the margins, but in significant roles. Matisse Thybulle of the world. And like I said, Royce O'Neal, Dorian Finney-Smith. It could have been a plethora of the Tyus Joneses of the world. Whoever, the Bojan Bogdanovic, the Bojan Bogdanovic and the Alec Burks, who's a walking bucket. They couldn't help you improve your bench play.
Thank you, Javier. Good to hear
I
from
hear
you.
you, man. That's, and like you said, in Monty we trust, but man, I just wish we knew more.
I believe in Monty McNair.
Exactly. I wish Monty McNair was on our air right now, because I want to hear from him.
Do you know anybody who works for the Kings?
Let me see if I can make it happen. I'm sure it'll be a big fat no, but it would be nice because and what's frustrating about this, and my therapist says this too, I
thought I was your therapist.
No, I got to go to therapy because of you. He said, lack of information leads to speculation, leads for it could be anything. Maybe they, made an offer for Pascal, OG or whatever, and it was just too much. We don't know. And that's, I think, the part of the frustration is we don't know. We got to blindly trust right now what Monty McNair is doing. And my thing is, how long does that last, Kings fans? Monty's done a hell of a job. He's got us to this point. Now we got to take the next step. Now we got to make that leap. And it may not be this year. Hopefully it's this offseason. It might be next trade deadline. But when do we stop saying in Monty we trust? I'm looking at Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
They revamped their team on the fly. They got Tyrese and they got Pascal Siakam. They traded away Buddy Hield. They're making moves. I'm looking at the Knicks. The Knicks are going for it right now because they feel like they have the pieces.
And they're also not going to get it. But go ahead.
They're not going to get it, but they might make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
But they're at least pretending like they can.
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. Right now, and people have said this, Dallas, they made moves to improve. If you're not improving and you're just stagnant, especially in today's NBA, are you really going backwards?
You are. You're either getting better or you're not.
Or you're not.
I believe in Monty McNair.
Yeah.
If it helps answer your question of how long do we keep the faith in Monty McNair, that's from last year at the trade deadline. So today we're still saying, do you believe in Monty McNair?
I believe in Monty McNair.
If I look at this roster and I look at what they could have acquired, we think, and I look at where it would have gotten them, if they had to give up anything of value to get those things, I understand why they decided the moves that make us better or not better. What do you got?
Breaking news.
Breaking news. Need a sound.
Well, yeah, I know. I have to go. I didn't have any heads up. I have to go find the sound now,
News. You're never going to have a heads up on breaking news.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports Breaking News.
Monty McNair must be listening to us right now as we speak.
Uh-huh.
Monty McNair will be available for a press conference tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Kings GM Monte McNair will participate in a press conference. That means he's going to answer some questions tomorrow at 12 o'clock.
All right.
So from my mouth to Monty's ears,
right,
I made it happen.
That's the only reason why you would have this press conference.
Your boy's coming through for y'all today.
Someone in Kings PR was listening to us, and they were like, "Oh, we should probably announce that we're doing a press conference." Like they had it planned, but then they're like, Drapes is like, "Why haven't we heard from Monty McNair?" They're like, "Well, we should probably tell them."
Well, that'll be interesting.
Yes.
Thank you for lining that up for us.
I got you. I take care of you.
Better to have him on the show.
I know. I might have to go over there early and record something with him or something like that, or we get him an exclusive one-on-one.
Oh, so we get the sloppy seconds with Monty McNair
No, we get exclusive. That's
after the press conference. Well, the press conference is at noon. Our show's not till 2 tomorrow.
No, yeah. Let me text him and say, hey, I need you at 2. Actually, start that press conference right at 2:01. Now, if I get that done, but it'll be on Styles and Watkins tomorrow at noon.
Yes, let's hope so. They're in Vegas here, so we may have to do some figuring. But we'll figure something
Wouldn't that be funny if they're like, we have Monty McNair, but also Alec Ingold of the Dolphins at the same time?
Yes.
Would love to see that interview.
Yeah.
You know what he's going to say, don't you? Don't we know what he's going to say?
What?
We looked at a lot of options, and we just felt ultimately long-term and short-term we're better off with what we had, given what we'd have to give up.
Right.
Isn't that where we are? Isn't that the only thing that makes any sense? It doesn't make sense, as frustrated as we are as fans. And again, last night's frustrating. I have no explanation for last night. But the trade deadline, there's no way that Monty goes, well, that guy'd be pretty good, but no. Royce O'Neal for nothing? Pass. He's smarter than we are and knows the team better. So as frustrating as it is to think they didn't do anything, I think he must have had good reason. Again, last night.
Right, of course.
Nothing.
I don't think it's that he's scared or anything like that, but I will say this. I was in Chicago last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. Zach LaVine, they announced, was getting the surgery. And that Chicago media grilled Billy Donovan for 20 minutes. They had him under the coals, raked him under the coals. Our media, there's going to be a lot of softballs up there tomorrow. And so Monty shouldn't be worried at all. He should come on our show. He should come on everybody. Like, we're throwing softballs out there. And so you're right. Tomorrow he's going to say that. And we're going to let him get away with it. What else can you do? We're going to accept that. But the question I would like to ask him, and I may go there tomorrow, actually. What do you say to the frustrated fan base who feels like, last trade deadline, this offseason, now this trade deadline? What's your message to the people who are frustrated right now that you didn't make any moves?
And here's the thing, Kyle, is that press conference is at noon?
Yeah.
You start a little late. You have your press conference. Next thing you know, it's 1. We're on the air at 2, and we're out there. Monty, you're already going to be there. Right?
Monty, come on over. Yeah, come sit up. No, you're right. It's, we are there. I forgot. We're there tomorrow.
We're literally doing our show from there.
All he has to do is walk over, come on up.
Yeah.
You're right. We may, let's effort that.
You don't even have to come all the way up. We'll set up the mic
down. Yeah, that should happen. And we can ask him those questions then.
Yeah, that's a very good question. And I understand the frustration. And I'm anxious for the answers myself. I just think I know what the answers are going to be. We'll get back to the fans last night. What exactly fans were booing? I know it seems like a simple question, but I think it's fascinating. That's next year with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
I believe in Monty McNair.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Did you know COVID-19 vaccines have been updated this season? They're one of the best ways to help protect yourself against recent variants, and most people in the U.S. should continue to pay nothing out of pocket for COVID-19 vaccines. Uninsured or underinsured adults can receive them at no cost at participating Bridge program locations, and eligible children can receive them through the Vaccines for Children program at participating providers. For children, COVID-19 vaccines are at no cost, but there may be fees such as for the visit or administration. Book a vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more, up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Someone somewhere may have told you that you can't mark your ball with a tee. Well, Golf Monthly's Jeremy Elwood looked into that. Since 2019, the definition of a ball marker is an artificial object when used to mark the spot of a ball to be lifted, such as a tee, a coin, an object made to be a ball marker, or another small piece of equipment. Urban Myth says that sticking a tee in the green is testing the surface, and they're pretty sure there's a rule against that. But if you think about it, sticking a tee in the ground tells you no more or less than what you'd learn from fixing 1 or 2 pitch marks on the green before you putt, and we all know we're encouraged to do that. To be fair, there is more of a chance of being asked to move the tee if you use one instead of a flat marker, as there's more likelihood of a ball being stopped or deflected with the tee. Not illegal, just inconvenient. By the way, the definition says it must be an artificial object, so don't be tempted to use a leaf, a twig, or a stone, as that will cost you a penalty stroke. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. It can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, so much more. We do have a Super Bowl to discuss. 4:30, the great Herm Edwards is going to join us. At some point, Kyle wants to talk about something that Ross Tucker tweeted or something. I don't know. He's a Philly guy. Whatever.
My guy Ross Tucker.
Whatever. I thought he was my guy too. He's a former Buffalo Bill, and that's all he'll ever be to me.
You know, he makes some good points. Let's hear him out.
Yeah. Thank you, Kyle.
I didn't see any. But anyway, we'll get to that. And then some people on the text line are starting to come around a little bit on the deadline.
Are they?
You know, and this is a safe space for all views from somebody from the 916. Again, I wish you put your name on it. I don't understand everybody questioning. None of them are as smart as at being a general manager as Monty is. Everyone has all these complaints. If they were that smart, they'd be a GM already. You could have traded second-round picks. Now, by not trading them, you still have them to sweeten your pot later on. It's true.
It is true. It's 100% true. But this is what we do.
Kings are in the early phases of that. Everybody just needs to chill out a bit.
This is what we do, though. This is Monday morning quarterbacking. This is, at this present moment, this is how it is. Now, if Monty goes out and turns those picks into something, all right, thank you, Monty. Great job. But right now, especially after that loss, fans are allowed to be frustrated.
Oh, yes.
People are allowed to be upset. Right
yes. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Will joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Will.
Man, y'all got to stop that, man. Y'all got to stop.
What?
Stop. You got to stop, man. Look, we've been suffering. Even before you came here, Dre, we've been suffering for years, man. You know, we're trying to get back to, to where we was back in 2002, 2003 with C-Web and Bibby and them and Doug and them. So this is a long-time frustration. And then when you get a team who has the ability to be successful and you keep laying eggs with these weak, sorry teams you let come in here and beat you, there's no excuse for that.
Nope.
There's no excuse.
You're right.
For them to let the Pistons come in here and beat them with half the roster not even playing.
You are right.
I remember the last time when they played, I was praying. I was glad Cunningham didn't play because I'm saying if Cunningham played, it's going to be competitive. They didn't even have Cunningham last night. And then here's one of my problems, and you and Katie do a good job. You do a good job. You don't allow yourself to get frustrated and throw the mic down and say, but I know where you're feeling. I know where you're coming from, man. You're from Philly. I know what's in your heart. I know this because, you know the game. You and Whitey know the game. Here's the thing. They allowed, like Ivy got cooking. He got cooking. Everybody seen he got cooking. And they kept running the same play. They kept running him off of picks and screens and getting him one-on-one with Herder. And Brown didn't make any adjustments. Did Kessler play 1 minute last night? I don't think so. I don't think he played 1 minute last night.
He did not.
It's the games that the teams that we supposed to stomp them Kings. And then we need at least one or two guys that's chippy, man. That don't take no, like the Morris brothers, right. Or Champagne. We need guys who look, you're gonna get fouled. I ain't trying to hurt you, but you're gonna get fouled. Either you hitting 2 or 3 in a row, you're gonna get knocked down next play. I mean, it's that we don't have that killer instinct, that attitude. And the last guy was outstanding with his commentary, man. The last guy, he was Superman. He knew his stuff. See, here's the thing, man. We don't play no physical ball at all. At all. I mean, you let these guys. Hey, Dre, I seen you play in the rec league, man. You would have knocked somebody down.
Oh yeah. No, 100%. Like, and I appreciate the call, Will. And that's the thing that's so bothersome about what we see from the Kings is that Jaden Ivey is cooking. He's killing you. Mm-hmm. He's laughing. Mm-hmm. He's talking to your crowd. He's looking at your crowd, and nobody does anything. Nobody sets a hard screen. Nobody a hard foul. Like, you know what? When Kevin Huerter got ejected, I was okay with it because at least he showed a level of pissed offness, frustration.
A little late, though.
It was a little late.
Where was that earlier?
Yeah, exactly. Where was that earlier when Jaden Ivey was cooking? And so I need to see that earlier. I don't know, man. I don't know the answer, man, because I said we got some good guys in the locker room, great guys. But to Will's point, sometimes you need some dogs. You need some jerks. You need some Morris twins or somebody like that, who will take a frustration foul. Like, we don't even have frustration fouls about the officiating. We don't even, get robbed by the officials and grab somebody and then turn and bark at the officials. We're just playing, man. We're not competing sometimes.
So you would have liked to have seen them get somebody like that at the deadline.
100%.
You don't even care what position he played necessarily?
Who did we have on? Was it Doug or somebody? We had on a former player, and we talked about, I forget who it was. But we talked about you need like the Tony Allens of the world, the Marcus Smarts, like
physical
tone setter. Exactly. We don't have that right now.
No.
And I'll go back to something Coach Triano said in our interview at 3:15. And I said this yesterday too, Whitey. We need positional length. We're not a long perimeter defensive team.
Right.
So we needed to go out there and get somebody like that too. And so it's not just one guy, but you can add pieces here and there. Denver didn't transform overnight. They slowly added pieces. Where's our slowly adding of pieces right now? That's what I want to see.
Yeah. They did try to get Anunoby, and they tried to get Pascal Siakam. And they would address some of that. They weren't able to. And other than that, I think they looked around and said, pass.
Dog, I tried to date the prom queen back in high school, too. How'd that work out for me?
I don't know. I guess not well.
There's an old clip, and Kyle, you may need to find this. This is about 10, 15 years ago. A Miami Heat kid is at a game.
Good job, good effort.
Good effort.
Good job,
That's
good
what we
effort.
need right now. You know exactly what I'm talking about. That's what it sounds like we want to give Monty and the Kings right now. You tried. Good job, good effort.
I think that was the 2011 or 2012 finals.
Yeah, was it? Yeah.
They got thumped by somebody, by OKC or somebody. Good job, good effort.
Yeah, it's like we're giving. Oh, you found that. Dude, you found that quickly, bro. That's impressive.
I didn't. This is before my time, but this is kind of cute, actually. So this was after Boston beat Miami in the 2012 playoffs. And then I think the game after that was the one where LeBron had
went off, right?
Yeah, the crazy 48-point game.
Yeah. Good job, good effort.
Yep.
Barnes Arena.
Good effort.
We'll be right back, and we'll hear from Malik Monk on what he thought of the booze last night when we return on Sactown Sports.
Barnes Arena.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division title, GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Your MasterChef dreams. When you find a professional on Angie to tackle your dream kitchen remodel. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. As I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
At Ashton & Price, over the last 25 years, we've won just about every injury case you can think of. Slip and fall, falling merchandise, fell through rotted decking, we won those. Dangerous stairs, falls into holes, dog bites, won them. Injured while pedestrian or on a bicycle, auto, motorcycle, big rig, company vehicle, Uber, or Lyft accident, we've won them all. And the best news is there's no fee until you win. So no matter how you got injured, remember,
For the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
RC Willie has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willie.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health Sacramento can help you address the root causes of weight gain, low energy, poor drive, and performance issues. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, we'll give you a free T-check and free exam at Revive Sacramento. Imagine upping your game, losing weight, and getting in shape all at once. Revive can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications, like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. Weight gain and low T are treatable conditions. We know we can help you. Take that first step and book today. You're only one step away from getting in the best shape of your life. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sactown Sports. The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
There's an old saying in radio that I think we made up last week. Sometimes you just have too much show and not enough time. That's how I feel today.
Yes.
Herm Edwards, bottom of the hour. We've been trying to get to Malik Monk's comments on the booze last night. Mike Brown, we have coming up just a few moments here. Mike Brown broke down where the Kings defense broke down last night. Not just, we need to get our hands up. He's like, this guy did this and then did that, and he needs to do this, and he didn't. And so we have that coming up as well. First, 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. TC is back with us. TC, thanks for joining us today. We needed to hear from you on this difficult day. What's up? TC? Hello?
Y'all, man.
Yeah,
we got you.
Yeah,
what's up, TC?
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, look, I'm angry just like y'all. Listen, before we get started, the only thing I can save this situation is Dylan Hayes and Spencer Dinwiddie. If they're already, we can go buy them on the buyout market and give them league minimums. Other than that, Monty dropped the ball, bro. Unless this summer is going to be some type of, they made a move for Paul George and they're bringing this guy in and LeBron's thinking about coming to second. Like, that's the only thing that's going to save this, bro. Like 2 years ago, I love Monty. I love Mike. But Monty, bro, we have to stop doing this. We have to shake it up. I know we want to keep the commodity, but these dudes ain't caring. I love Monk. Like I told my boys, look, I got a statement Monk jersey that just came in the mail a few days ago. But I wasn't feeling that about what he was talking about the fans. What do you expect, bro? How are we caring more? How are we caring more about wins and losses than you dudes? You dudes is getting up here super nonchalant and not caring about nothing. Talking about, oh, man, we got to do this. The energy, I'm not really tripping. It's one game out of 82. Oh, man, we'll be all right. No, it's not, bro. Before you look up, we'll be out the plan.
No, you're right. You're right, CC. I like your passion, man. You're 100% right. That's the thing. And I know they're professionals, and I know they play 82 games. You know, they shouldn't get as high and low and be on the roller coaster like we are. But show me a pulse after a game like that.
Right. I'm giving Fox the benefit of the doubt in this regard. I agree with you, TC.
Tell me why.
My hope is that what he showed us after the game is not how he really feels. It's not what he's really shown on the team in practice today.
Okay.
I hope. If he's really like, I mean, that's terrible. So I'm hoping that he shows us one thing, but when push comes to shove, he's like, hey, fellas, hello, what the was that?
What was that
last night? But I don't really know. I'm assuming I don't really know.
Well, you're saying he's going to say the words that Kevin Herter told the ref? Is that what it is?
Yeah. And by the way, Herter said that he dropped F-bombs both times, right?
Yeah, double F-bombs.
Yeah. So he got the first one, then he said
did it again. Yeah.
He said the same thing twice. He said that's a bleeping foul, got teed, and then said
it was, right? That's when Monk got hit in the head.
Right.
Yeah. And he said it's a bleeping foul and got ejected.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the problem that I'm finding with the Kings right now. Mike Brown last night called it unacceptable. Jay Triano, right here on Sactown Sports 1140 last hour, called it unacceptable. Have we heard a player call it unacceptable? I don't know. I don't know if we have or not. But it should be unacceptable for the players too. Like, and that's what I'm talking about. Somebody in the locker room, like somebody to come out and be like, yo, what happened? That's unacceptable. We don't have that. Our guys are, Malik spoke up, Domas a little bit, De'Aaron not so much. And we need more fire and passion from our guys. It's like
from at least one of them.
At least one of them. Yeah. You can't accept losing, man. You accept losing, then what are we doing?
You have no manners.
Fair.
They got no manners.
You have no manners.
You have no manners. We have Malik Monk. His thoughts after the game last night. By the way, listen to this. And again, I'm not making excuses, but Malik here and a lot of the players talking about last night, they sound less angry and more like confused. Like they don't know what, I was like,
okay,
I don't know what happened. I'm not saying they shouldn't be angry, but anyway, here was Malik Monk post game in the locker room.
Yeah, they was booing. I don't like that. I play too hard for that, to get booed for sure. I don't like that. But yeah, man, I was just thinking we lost to Detroit. What went wrong? And just being mad. Basically just being mad, man. I'm going to go home and be mad some more and forget about it tomorrow.
He was answering a question, I think, from Sean Cunningham, because that was one moment at the very end of the game, Malik was like just off by himself. And he asked, what was going through your head? What'd you think of the booze? And he didn't care for the booze. But, he's going to hear it. If that continues, he's going to hear a lot more booze. If it ever happens again.
Yeah. I want to break what he said down into two parts. I like the fact that he said he was mad and he's going to go home and be mad some more. That's how you should be. Shouldn't be going home and forget about it. Wake up today. Really, it should still sting the day too, to be honest with you.
Especially when you got practice.
Right. And you got practice. And Jay Triano mentioned it. It still stings. But the booing situation, to me, when fans boo, I'm all for booing. If the team's not getting it done, boo. But also, if you don't like the booing, then play better. Don't give the fans a reason to boo. And too many times, this was a culmination of all season long. Fans have seen enough. We are tired. Like, I can't tell you how many fans walked into that arena last night and were worried about that game because they've seen it time and time again with this team, that you come up short against a bad team, a shorthanded team. And so that's where the fans are frustrated too, Malik. And I understand you don't like the booing. I get it. I wouldn't like it either, but you got to play better. You don't want the booing, play better. Don't get to this point where we got 4 or 5, 6 losses that are horrible losses. This is the fans voicing their frustration. And the booing shows me that fans care.
Is there a lack of effort? Is that what fans are booing? Are we booing? I didn't boo, but fan. Are we booing, as you said, just the fact that not again, we can't keep doing this? Are we booing because our expectations are maybe a little out of whack?
No, I don't think our expectations are out of whack at all. I think this team is good enough to be a top 5 team in the Western Conference, top 6 team in the Western Conference. And at the end of the season, it will be proven that this team is good enough, because we'll look back on those losses that I just talked about and realize, man, if we would have won those games, we wouldn't be in the play-in right now. I think and Jay Triano mentioned it too. The effort and focus wasn't there, last night. And so this isn't Whitey talking. This isn't Drapes talking. This is an assistant coach echoing.
See, that's so hard for me to believe. He obviously knows.
Right.
But how in the world do you walk into that again after you've let it happen to you?
That's why the fans are booing right there. That is 100% why the fans are booing. If this was the first time this happened, you'd be shocked, like, man, what happened tonight? I mean, it's okay, but it's time and time and time again. I think it was the Pelicans game. You know, we were excited. The one where they beat us 33,
on the Sunday afternoon.
Fans came into that building. They were ready. They were amped up. Our team was going to be ready. And the fans left that building. They were booing. I think I did the pre and post game that day. I had fans yelling, "Drapes, what is this?" And so the fans are frustrated right now. Forget the 29-21. I understand that's nice. Good record, solid record. But 29-21, when you got 4 or 5 really bad losses, not just losses, bad losses they've had.
Well, here's the thing, too, to your point. 29-21. Hey, that's great. This year, it's not. It's not great. It's good for 7th.
Right.
So if you want to be competitive, you have to be better than that. And if you'd won these games that you just throw away, like, oh, what's this? Don't need this.
Right.
You would be better.
Right.
Yeah.
You
so
would
someone
be
say, hey,
better.
29-21. So what?
So what?
You're 7th.
You're
right
7th.
now.
You should be 34-17 right now.
To your point, Drapes, if they had won last night, they would have been 30-20. That is exactly a 48-game pace, which is the same number of games they won last year. So it's the same pace that they were on last year, which got them the 3 seed. But this year they would have been 5, 6, or 7.
Right. Exactly. Yep. Let's talk to Matt here on Sactown Sports. Thanks for calling, Matt. What's up?
Of course. Hey, guys. Love the show. Whitey, glad to have you back on the Sactown Sports.
Thank you, Matt.
When it comes to the trade deadline and Monty, we were all up in arms last year, too, at the same time when we didn't make a move. And look what happened. We had a great second half of the season, finished 3rd. I think they played really good basketball after the break last year. That could be the same situation this year. I know that people don't like Sam and Pat, but was there anything out there that was really going to get us to the finals, win us the finals this year? I don't know. When it comes to Kings playing basketball, some nights I watch them and I'm like, holy cow, we're better than we were last year when they're playing, high-level Kings basketball. And then there's nights like last night where I'm like, oh, my goodness, we're worse than we were last year. Hoping that the Kings can play King basketball in the second half. This is a make-or-miss league, as they like to say, which is one of my favorite quotes ever. And last night, wide open layups at the rim, Fox missing, jumpers that Fox would normally make missing, shots weren't going down. And I think that is the Kings' biggest problem, missing shots, not taking bad shots like they used to, but missing shots, that they were last year or on some nights do make and on some nights don't. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Matt.
Appreciate
Matt sounds
that, Matt.
like he's almost like a basketball analytics guy and trying to act like he's
Right.
not. He makes some really, some pretty keen points there. I agree with you, Matt, on the trade deadline, but it's just it's not a popular view today because people are so frustrated, which I understand.
Yeah, exactly. And people are frustrated and they don't want to hear, it's a make-miss league. Really, the problem that the Kings are having is every time we face a team, they're making shots. So, yeah, it's a make-miss league, but how come we can't do something about it to stop Detroit, Orlando, Charlotte, all these teams from coming in town and making all these shots?
You know what's really funny about what Jay Triano said? He said, it seems like sometimes teams come in here and there's a guy you'd never think
right.
of. And now last night it wasn't because Jay Navi's really good. But, Jay, that's been going on here since like 1985.
Right.
You're right. I'm not saying you're wrong, but that's been going on a long time.
I'm surprised we didn't get the call. How come we can't get Mike Muscala? Why come we can't go out there and get him? Alec Burks. We should have got Alec Burks.
Well, we still have a second chance because Furkan Korkmaz has been waived by the Pacers.
Okay,
so we have a makeup chance here.
Yeah. That's a popular parlor game. You look at the game and you go, all right, who on the other team that we've never heard of is going to light us up tonight? Who's got Reith Dwap? Who's got Reith Dwap? Anybody? I'll take him.
Give Jason Ross credit, though, because yesterday pregame we were joking. He's like, Alec Burks in a game like this could go for 40. And I looked it up. I'm like, he has never gone for 40 in his career. And then we looked up and he had like 20 at halftime. It's like, he's on pace for 40.
Back to the phones. Also, we'll hear from Mike Brown on how exactly the Kings defense broke down last night when we come right back. And we got the great Herm Edwards, bottom of the hour with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
By the way, did you hear that the in-season tournament has a sponsor now?
I did hear that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Emirates Airline. So the Saudis are...
Saudis coming into basketball
here they
now.
come. Here they come.
Took over golf. Now they're doing this. Wow.
Wait, is it the Saudis or the United Arab Emirates?
It's the airline, Emirates Airline, which is funded, I believe, by the Saudi government.
Okay.
So,
all right,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Anyways, just name confused me there. Okay.
So all the NBA cares about, of course, is cha-ching!
Cha-ching, the dollars, dollar bill, y'all.
Uh-huh. So they'll be playing next year for the Emirates Cup.
Hold on, before we move on. You know this is Taylor Swift here, right?
I have no idea.
You're not acknowledging Kyle's coming back with Taylor Swift after every break.
At least the last few.
Last couple, yeah.
Well, we haven't talked any football today, so we gotta,
You guys realize this is Sacramento, right? There's a lot of 49er fans. And you were like, yeah, Chiefs, yeah.
Woo!
There's a lot of Chiefs
there
fans
you go,
out there too,
Drapes.
baby. There's a lot of Chiefs fans out here too.
Drapes is coming around to the right side of history. That's all I'm
He's
hearing.
a mercenary. He's an anti-49er mercenary.
Oh, and I love that about it. As a football anarchist myself, I love this.
Herm Edwards, bottom.
Our guy, Herm Edwards.
339-1140, 1-800-912-1140. Steven joins us on Sactown Sports. Hello, Steven.
Hi, Whitey. Hi, Kyle.
What's up?
How's it going?
Good. What's going on?
Hey, are you the guy that was on with Carmichael Dave a couple days ago and you gave me credit for the boat racing thing?
Yeah, that was me.
I appreciate that.
Snap.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, absolutely, man. I got to give you credit, man. You come out the woodwork with. Actually, speaking of coming out the woodwork, I looked that up yesterday, and that was interesting. That was really interesting. So, speaking of which, when we turn the lights on, all the bugs come out the woodwork.
Right.
So,
okay.
Right. Yeah, exactly. All right. I'm upset. I'm gonna be Freddie the Fan here, Drapes.
Let me hear
I'm gonna be Freddie the Fan here.
Yeah.
All right, you ready? You guys ready for it? Can I vent as a diehard Kings fan?
Yes, please. The floor is yours.
Okay. I appreciate you guys giving me the floor. All right. So we always hear that Monty is calculated and he's disciplined, and well, he's been calculating for the last 2 years, in my eyes. Okay, he's been calculated and he's been measured for the last 2 years. Okay, This is a very upset fan base because we're settling on. I feel like I don't want to say the Kings are mediocre because we're on pace to either match our season high last year, or maybe we could beat it, or maybe we have less as far as the winning games. 48 games, you know what I'm saying? 50 games, 46 games. It really doesn't matter. I don't want. It really seems like Monty is settling on mediocrity. Okay, I feel like the team is kind of mediocre. We had the best we had a historical offensive scoring unit last year. Okay, and then the trade deadline happened. We were eyeing Jared Vanderbilt. We were eyeing Rui Hachimura. I remember all these names, And they all just went bye-bye. We're watching all of these dominoes. It's like a game of Guess Who, okay? We're watching all of these faces and all of these names get plucked off one by one, all right? So now we move on to this year. Now everyone else got so much better because look at the historical scoring this year compared to last year. There are like, 6 to 8 teams that are blowing us out of the water? And that shows to me that we are still stagnant. We have stayed put. I don't necessarily agree with the fact that we stayed put at all in any way, shape, or form. I also get the fact that like making a move to make a move can be the wrong move, can be very detrimental to building up a solid chemistry bounded team. But also not making a move can be just as detrimental. I get that we want to save vibes here. We want to make sure the locker room is tight. It does win you games, but it doesn't win you games. That vibe that's in our locker room, our great energy and all the brotherhood and stuff like that, it hasn't been winning us games, and it's been showing.
Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I apologize, Steve. We got some other things we got to get to. Thank you for the call. First of all, the Kings are not mediocre. I understand your point. I know at times they look mediocre. As you probably know, mediocre means you're not good, you're not bad, you're mediocre. Kings are good. They're not mediocre.
Right.
They don't look great at times. As far as the locker room chemistry, I don't know how you feel, Drapes. You may know. I don't think they're overly concerned with, we want guys to get along. They want to keep the core together, but not because they get along. They think it's their best chance to win. Yeah. They're like, well, we can't do that because then someone will be upset.
No,
I don't think that's
I don't think so. I think this team and this franchise and this general manager group, they're all about putting together the best roster to win. And it may be you don't want to bring in a malcontent that would upset the apple cart. Yeah. Right. Because that would impact winning. Yeah. It's not about, I don't want to upset this guy. It's about how would that affect the team and its ability to win games. I think that's, their focus.
Here's where I think the Kings run into an issue right now. It's like, how do we get better? Small market team. You look at small market teams. They don't have the means that big market teams have to improve. So look at Oklahoma City currently. Look at Utah a few years ago. Utah's now they're kind of in a rebuild again. But Utah built through the draft, and they got, we got Donovan Mitchell. Well, we got Rudy Gobert. And they drafted those guys, and they built a team that was a really good team and a legitimate contender in the West. And then it eventually fell apart. Now they're kind of in a rebuild again. Oklahoma City, they went to the finals, with Durant and Westbrook, and they had Harden. And they had Serge Ibaka, the Rimaraka, right? Then they had to tear it down. Well, look where they are now. They built through the draft. So it really behooves small market teams to build through the draft. The Kings never tore it down and built through the draft, right? I mean, they had some good draft picks, but they never tore it down. And so even now, it's like, well, you got Sabonis. You don't all these guys. This is not a homegrown. You got Harrison Barnes in here. And so now, all right, now how do we get better from here? A team that's built through the draft, well, we have these picks. We also have our younger players, and they're continuing to get better and better and better. Right now, the Kings have Keegan can get better, right? Other than that, Davion maybe. So it's
who
tough
has the
right
upside?
now.
Yeah.
Where they are right now, it's tough. That path forward to improvement, it's tough because you're not going to bring in free agents. And as we're finding out, making trades is tricky as well.
And they're almost stuck in no man's land, like in terms of this is it. This is it. This is, how do you make the improvements? And it's proven to be harder, more difficult than thought of, because I can't imagine that Monty just said, you know what? I'm going to run it back. I'm not going to do anything. You talked about it earlier. They were in on Pascal. They were in on OG. So they see the need to upgrade, but yet they haven't been able to do it so far.
Right. Okay, let's see here. We're going to share with you now. We got Herm Edwards coming up.
Yeah.
But this is Mike Brown last night explaining, hey, the Kings defense wasn't very good last night. We all say, they didn't defend well. Here's Mike Brown explaining exactly where the Kings defense fell flat last night.
Trying to convince our guys that, hey, don't worry about the offense. The offense is going to be up. We didn't play well offensively tonight. We scored 120 points. That's enough to win a ball game. But we're making the same mistakes over and over again defensively, and we don't understand how important it is to figure that out sooner than later. And that's concerning to me. It was concerning in the Cleveland game. It's concerning tonight. Hopefully it can change going forward, because yes, you go 5-2, you feel good about your record, but you feel and see things that aren't good, especially long term to be able to sustain what you feel and hope your record can be, if that makes sense. Literally practiced closing out today. We practiced defending the ball in the pick and roll. We couldn't close out to hot guys. We haven't been able to close out to hot guys. And that's been a part of, although we're winning, that still has been a struggle for us for the most part. We've had stretches where we've been okay with it. And then the pick and roll. I mean, obviously I'm going to look at it, but I'd love to see where we rank defensively in the pick and roll game. Because tonight it was not good. almost every time somebody came out the pick and roll, they got around us and collapsed our defense.
And then once the defense collapses, then you've got shooters all over the place. 3-point line, just give me the ball.
Give me the ball. Eyes open, wide eyed.
How many times, I was thinking on the road trip, how many times did Kyle Draper say on the telecast, Kings in scramble mode?
Yep.
A lot.
I
don't know about last night. I didn't hear you, but
right.
You've been saying that a lot, right?
And teams are just breaking down our defense.
Yes.
And the book is out on the Kings.
Yeah.
Drive, get past the guy, and then they're in scramble mode, and then you got shooters out there. That's like the recipe for every NBA team. That's what everybody wants to do, is break you down, get into the paint, spray out for the threes. And if you don't have perimeter defenders that can lock guys down, stay in front of you, you're playing 4-on-5. Yep, 100% right.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the big problems with the Kings right now. And until they can get that consistently figured out, I think we're going to be prone to these ups and downs. But again, Jay Triano was on. I asked him, is that the reason? Why is it the defense? He said, it's not. You can't blame it all on the defense. He said the offense has been inconsistent too. Herm Edwards joins us when we come back. We'll focus a little bit here on the Super Bowl. Speaking of defense, will defense win the day at this year's Super Bowl? We'll find out from legendary coach, player Herm Edwards next with the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mostly cloudy through the evening and then turn partly cloudy overnight. By morning, temperatures will be in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with highs in the low to mid-50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696355.
Toyota's President's Day sales event is on. Now is your chance to save big with the best deals of the year on legendary Toyota trucks. Don't miss out. Right now, get $750 cash back on the powerful 2024 Tundra, or see your dealer for details on the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Hurry in for these President's Day deals and more. Get to your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes TRD Pro and 3424.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered. Just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3 H test versus API SP test limits.
Hey, Mark, remember, getting help from Progressive is so easy. You can use the mobile app, chat with us online, or call us.
And you pick now to tell me.
I couldn't miss Little Grace's ballet recital. Oh, thanks for inviting me, by the way.
Did I?
Because you know I'm always here for you.
Yeah. I can use the mobile app if I need help. Sorry, you're in my wife's seat, though?
Oh, yeah, I gotta go anyway. Tell Grace she nailed her chassé.
Get the help you need from Progressive with our mobile app, online chat, or over the phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Welcome to a brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
Join Sactown Sports at Twin Peaks for big game action on over 40 screens. And your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see pop icons The Jacksons at Thunder Valley on March 30th. Don't miss it.
This time check is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at kiavacaville.com.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
It's always a treat, and frankly, it's an honor and a privilege to welcome our next guest to the show, ESPN analyst, former NFL college head coach, 10-year NFL defensive back, Herm Edwards. And, Coach, we appreciate your time. I'm just looking here, Super Bowl 15 when your Eagles were in the Super Bowl. The national anthem performed by Helen O'Connell, I don't know who that is, halftime show, Jim Skinner Productions presents Mardi Gras Festival. And you just look at how much bigger it is now. Did you have any idea how big the Super Bowl would become back when your Eagles were in it?
No, you couldn't imagine what it is, right now. And to the tickets, I mean, we were sitting there looking at trying to buy extra tickets, and they were like, I want to say $75. And we were going, man, that's a lot of money for a ticket. And then I heard the price on these tickets, and I'm going, oh, my God, this is really good.
Oh, my gosh. Yes, a lot has changed. Coach Herm Edwards joining us. Coach, when you look at this Super Bowl matchup, Chiefs and Niners, let's talk about how big this is for the NFL. Obviously, Niners a great fan base. Patrick Mahomes, the face of the league. Some are predicting this will be the most watched Super Bowl ever. What do you think about this matchup?
Well, I think, we've seen this before, right? And when you think about San Francisco, historically, the last time, they won a Super Bowl was 1994. I'll say that again. That's the last time they won one. Now,
Coach, I remind them that every day. I'm from Philadelphia. I'm an Eagles fan. So I remind the Niners fans that, hey, y'all ain't winning about 3 decades. I remind them that every day.
Yeah, but we got our own problems. So let's don't even go there.
All right.
Anyway, and they won one obviously in 2020, but I think this was the team going into the season, and everyone felt that it was one of the better teams on the NFC side of it. For sure, and it turned out to be that to be the case. Now, when they got in the playoffs, obviously they stumbled early in 2 games. They got behind, but Purdy all of a sudden, not the quote unquote guy that only can play from the pocket. He did some things, brought them back. Kudos to them. Kansas City obviously got off to a slow start. Patrick Mahomes and his receiving core didn't know who to trust. Right, Pacheco became big in the offense. We knew Kelsey was going to be there, but they ended up finding somebody in Rice. And I think what got pushed to the side really is when Kansas City was winning these games, their defense, how good their defense is. And so, both these teams pride themselves defensively. 49ers, big time defense, got a lot of good players over there. And both teams seem to run the ball. You know, Andy Reid's an old run coach. I mean, he was an offensive line coach before he became this Hall of Fame head coach. So this will be an interesting game. I just think, you know, it's like any other Super Bowl. I think it won't be too big for either one of the teams. A lot of these players have played in this game. Purdy has not, but he's shown the wherewithal that when he was in 2 playoff games and they got behind, he found a way to bring his team back, and that's kudos to him.
Herm Edwards, our guest, and Coach. Speaking of Purdy, and you know, we don't need to have that old conversation about game manager, but if I'm not mistaken, you were at ASU when he was in high school there, so you got to see it. Why do you think so many people were unable to see what Brock Purdy was going to become?
Well, I don't know that so much. I think he went. You know, he goes to college, obviously, and you know, has a good season out there. I was, you know, and our state, and then. You know, the draft comes, and obviously, you know, quarterback is always, you know, they're always looking for the new Patrick Mahomes or a guy that can run. And he was a guy, all he did was win. And then I laugh, you know, because he's Mr. Irrelevant. Okay, so as soon as you get that tag, for some reason, it's like, oh, he's Mr. Irrelevant. That means, well, he can't, you know, he's not a first-round pick. Well, last time I checked, Joe Montana was a 4th-round pick. And Captain America, you know, who I call Captain America, Tom Brady, was a 6th-round pick. And no one says when they were, you know, climbing up the ladder and winning all these games, well, hey, he was a 4th-round pick. But every time Purdy does something, they say he's Mr. Irrelevant. And I'm like, no, he's relevant, actually. He's just playing the position. Just look at him play. But I think that almost tags you, you know, you have this tag for the rest of your life. You were Mr. Irrelevant.
Herm Edwards, 9 years, I believe it was, with the Philadelphia Eagles, Fly Eagle Fly coach. You know, when you look at
he didn't come on here to talk about the Eagles.
We can talk about Eagles all day, Coach.
And just remind them, I had 38 interceptions too, since you're talking about the Eagles.
Oh, you want me to? Okay, I got the stats right here. Yeah,
well, no, 33 in the regular season, but in big games like playoff games, I had another 5. That's 38 last time.
38. Fumble recoveries too. Let's count that too.
Definitely.
Exactly. We know about that. You also coach the Chiefs, but how much does coaching / quarterbacking matter in the Super Bowl? Because I bring this up because Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, to me, they have the advantage when it comes to that because they've been there before. They've done that. How much of a factor do you think that could be come Sunday?
Well, it's a factor, but it's a factor with the guy that plays with the ball. And they got the best quarterback on the planet. You know, he's a unicorn. I mean, he's chasing history. You know, we know who he's chasing. He's chasing Captain America. You know, he's going to try to pass Joe Legend here next with San Francisco. But that's the uniqueness of Patrick Mahomes. And, you know, he's a generational guy. I mean, you don't see this often. I mean, we thought that when Brady made his run with New England, everybody said, that's it. No one's going to do this again. Now all of a sudden the Chiefs are kind of finding a way with this quarterback to do a lot of things. You know, so it's interesting. I just think it's going to be a heck of a game. That's what you want. You always want a good game in the Super Bowl. I think the fans are excited about it. You know, and I think I'm hoping for the 49ers' sake it doesn't come down to a field goal. Because that's the shakiness. That's the shakiness for them, right? I mean, it is. If you want to look at the kickers, Kansas City Chiefs got a really good kicker. 49ers have a young guy, and you think those games were big before for this guy? Oh boy.
Herm Edwards, our guest here. How would you say, Coach, that Kyle Shanahan's offense and just overall style, how is it similar to his dad, and how in some ways might it be different?
It's West Coast. I mean, and they're going to run the ball, and they always feature a running back that can run and catch. You go back to 49ers, you know, historically, Roger Craig and those guys. I mean, they caught the ball out of the backfield. They could run the ball inside. They use the tight end. You know, I mean, it's a quick passing game. It's timely. Although Purdy was able to play off script some. And that's unusual in that offense, but he needed to play off script, right? So it's a unique offense. Andy has similar traits. You know, he comes from Holmgren. I mean, he's the West Coast guy. These guys all, you know, I remember, look, I was in that era when these guys were forming. You know, this is the West Coast deal.
Right,
right. West Coast deal, right? And so, you know, I think there's always little spin-offs. I mean, when you look at Joe was similar to Purdy. Played in the pocket, could move in the pocket. He was a good athlete.
Could you say that one more time, Coach? Could you say that one more time? Because I've made that comparison on this show, and my partner.
And he was. Joe could move, but Joe wanted to beat you from the pocket, rightly so. And, Joe came to us in Kansas City when I was actually there coaching.
Oh, yeah.
And I played against Joe. And then you got Steve to follow him, young. Same offense, but guess what? He had some legs on him now. He can run. So that brought another dimension to it, right? When Coach Harbaugh was there, he had a guy by Kaepernick.
Yeah.
And everybody said, what does he do when he's running this quarterback? He was way ahead of everybody, because everybody's running. You got to run a quarterback now in the NFL. It's okay. Go ahead and run.
Yeah.
Go ahead and run, right? So it's interesting how it's evolved.
Coach, how do you think the Niners' first 2 games in the playoffs, they had to squeak by the Packers, had to squeak by the Lions. Does that impact anything we'll see on Sunday? A way a team is playing 2 weeks before they actually take on and play the Super Bowl?
They played from deficits, and here's the concerning part. And I know they've talked about this a lot. They probably practiced a lot. Look, people are running the ball on them on the edges. Green Bay ran for 136, and the Lions went 180. And they're making their corners support it, and they're making them tackle on the edges. They got to get that fixed. They got to get that fixed now, because you think these Kansas City Chiefs won't run the football? They're going to run the football. And there lies the problem, because when you're running the ball like that, you're not in a lot of third and longs. And that's what you want to get the Chiefs in, because they got problems. They got 58 fouls on offense. And, they got a lot of holding calls, a lot of false starts. So you got guys that can rush the quarterback. You got Bosa sitting over there. Young, hopefully, he figures out, I'm in the Super Bowl. I come to the 49ers. I live Washington. I come to I need to get going. This is the last game of the season. I need to get going, right? That's what you're hoping. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But, and I think that the main thing is, when we look at this deal with Kansas City, at the end of the day, do they have an answer for Kelsey? Because if you don't have an answer for them, it ain't going to matter, guys. I mean, he is fabulous when it comes to playoff competition. He's played in 21 games. He's got 19 touchdowns and 156 catches in playoff competition. So you better figure out how to cover him. And I don't know if anybody can, but you better kind of figure out where he's at.
Yeah. So how much of this game, Coach, and Herm Edwards with us, how much of it would come down to the 49ers front, as you're saying, their ability to slow down or stop the run, and then actually get pressure on Mahomes?
Critical. And I think what they might do a little bit, Coach Wilkes there, is bring pressure on first down. To shore up that run defense a little bit. Just go ahead and do it. The Super Bowl, man. Go ahead and do it. And bring some pressure on it. Give them some different ways of all of a sudden, I thought it looked like this, and it's not. You bring an extra guy against that run, and all of a sudden you might get some losses on first down. And so that's going to be important, because I think 49ers have 2 fabulous linebackers now. That Warner and Greenlaw, I'm tell you what, man, they are fun to watch, boy. They cover a lot of ground and make up for a lot of mistakes, But you got to help them some too. And I think it'll be a game. I think both teams will try to run the ball, establish a line of scrimmage, and then from there, the passing comes into play.
Coach, can the Chiefs win a shootout if this game is 38-35? I know their offense has struggled during the regular season, but can they match wits with the Niners when it comes to scoring the ball?
Yeah, they got enough guys. I mean, they got Kelsey. They got Rice now. Right, Rice can do some things. Pacheco catches the ball out of the backfield some, and Mahomes. He makes him so unique. I mean, he runs to find angles to throw. He don't run to just run. And that's what gets you. If you let him mess around, I would prefer him just drop back, go ahead and beat us. Don't let him start moving, because when he starts moving, all bets are off. Then Kelsey and those guys play schoolyard football, and they're the best 2 at it in the league.
Coach, I know that you've lived in Northern California a long time, but you coached the Chiefs. So would you be willing to share with us who you want to win this game and who you think will win the game?
You make the point. We still live here in Carmel. John Lynch, you guys know, look, he is he's part of the family, man. I mean, he's my son's godfather.
Yeah.
and we're the godparents of one of his daughters. So that's big on my list there, you know.
Yeah.
And then obviously the Chiefs gave me my first job in the NFL as a scout and as a coach. That was the Hunt family. So, you know, I look at this and go, hey man, I just gotta sit and watch it, right? I just gotta sit and watch it. and I'm torn, you know. I'm torn. I'm torn, you know. And Kansas City's, they're really good. They're going for history. I would like to see John, you know, win one. Him and Coach Shanahan, because I think, you know, they've done a nice job there. And if they have the opportunity to win this, it's going to be a big win for them. But it ain't going to be easy, guys. It won't be easy against this Chiefs team.
All right. Thanks very much for your time, sir. We appreciate it more than you know. Enjoy the game, and we hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Coach.
All right.
Now,
Herm Edwards.
That was great.
Yeah.
Good
I forgot to ask him to tell our texters to put your name on it.
We could have had that clip too, right? Like we could have had that saved in the system. Oh, you dropped the ball in that one.
Yeah,
darn.
I dropped the ball, and he picked it up and took it
in
for a touchdown. When we come back, we'll get back to the Kings conversation. Also, what is it about Shanahan's system that makes it easier for Brock Purdy to complete passes? We'll take a look at that as well here as we roll on with the Drive Guys Sactown Sports.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mostly cloudy through the evening and then turn partly cloudy overnight. By morning, temperatures will be in the mid-30s. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with highs in the low to mid-50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
I lock up my Old Spice Fiji aluminum-free dry spray to keep that 24/7 lasting freshness safe for myself. Fresh coconuts, palm trees in the wind. It's like catching waves in Fiji. Actually, I just talked myself into a refreshing spritz of Fiji. My Old Spice is missing! No!
If you're looking to get a new car, you could really cut expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Sure, you love your old car, but you know it's not normal to give instructions on how to open the window. It should be self-explanatory, but it's not. And notice how when you're in other people's cars, you can feel cushion in the seats? That's pretty nice, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renter's and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new car. It's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
for a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark, as I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and our thrilling high limit room. Plus, with Sky River rewards that add up and up, and 17 bars and restaurants to experience. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Live and local, it's The Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
Pull up, park, ski. It's that easy at Sierra at Tahoe. Sactown Sports is teamed up with Sierra at Tahoe. This winter, all you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number 13 to win a 13 to win a pair of lift tickets to experience Sierra at Tahoe this winter. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. What you doing there, Kyle Draper?
It was a little warm in here, so I just wanted to switch into a short sleeve shirt, come up with something a little different. My girl Taylor Swift playing here in the background, and I'm in Super Bowl mode right now. And what are you doing? Wait.
Oh, number 13.
What are you doing over there?
Oh, see, I thought you were doing 13 because of Taylor Swift, her favorite number and all that.
Yeah.
You say so.
We ain't got no football in here. Hold on for a second. Hold on.
I'll bring one tomorrow.
Well, you guys are going to be at the arena tomorrow. Oh, yeah, Whitey, get the helmet of eternal glory.
Yeah.
Blue 42, Blue 42. Omaha. Let's go.
Oh, God, what is Mahomes' one? I know what it is, too. I'm trying to remember what his audible call sign is, but I can't remember what it is right now.
Real quick, saw something very interesting today. You talk a lot, Drapes, as a lot of people do, about how Brock Purdy, it's easier for him to complete passes in the Shanahan offense. And I'm not arguing with you. I was looking at that today, an interesting piece in The Athletic. Well, why is that? And they point out this, a few years ago, last time the 49ers were in the Super Bowl, in fact, there were a lot of play action, a lot with Jimmy G, a lot of play action because, you fake the run, set up the run, and then you freeze the linebackers and you throw it behind them, basically. The number of play action plays the 49ers run now, it's way down because they figured out with their sets, as long as Juszczyk is on the field, basically the threat of the run is there. So that's what Kyle Shanahan said. He says, if I have the fullback on the field, the other team, they don't know if we're going to run or not. So Brock Purdy now, he's able to run basically the same plays, but he doesn't have to do play action, so he never has to turn his back. Yeah. So it's like Juszczyk's on there. So the linebackers are still not sure, and then they're running the same stuff, and Purdy has lanes because the 49ers put we have they have something called, I think it's bump motion, where with McCaffrey, he'll kind of like do a lateral little hop like this. And if you're the linebacker, you're like, what's he going to do? And so that's what creates some of the space, depending on what the defense has to react. They got Juszczyk there. What's McCaffrey doing? And then obviously Brock Purdy recognizes, and that's one of the things that creates these lanes for him.
And more time to process too.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have to turn your back and
right.
act like
you don't have to take your eyes
you don't
off.
have to take your eyes off. You can process it much more quicker. And so, that's something to notice, watch for come Sunday.
It's really interesting, but it's Shanahan, as brilliant as he is offensively, he needs at some point to win one of these.
100%, right?
Yeah.
Like he's been there as a coach, been there as a coordinator, and has always come up short.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he's come up short, we mentioned, the 10-point lead late. We mentioned the 28-3 game with the Falcons. Like these are like ones where you think you got it and it's snatched from you. And so you're right. He
Those
has
are
to
the
win
worst.
one. Those are the worst, man.
Yes.
Because you could argue, I would imagine too, in that game with the Falcons and Patriots.
Patriots, yeah.
They thought they probably might have been the better team that game. Like we had them. Same thing with the Chiefs and Niners a few years ago. Like we were the better team. We should have had that one.
And we had the lead in the fourth.
And you had the lead in the fourth. And so, is he the one with the most pressure this week? In terms of, you got to get it. Like Brock Purdy is sort of, it's just his first time. If he doesn't have a great game, it's understandable.
Yeah, I think it's Shanahan, but I could certainly understand the argument that it's Purdy because in the eyes of many, he still hasn't proven anything yet. So now you're in the Super Bowl. Now let's see, all the people that think he's going to turn into a pumpkin. It's like, well, I mean, if he does now, you're right, correct? But I still think for Shanahan, dude, at some point you got to win. But as you know, better than most, being from Philly, and I'm not taking a shot, Andy Reid for a long time was like, this guy can't win the Super
get it
Bowl.
done. Right, exactly. He's good.
And now he's
running
for
he's right. And I think that's what it is with Shanahan too, to an extent. It's like good coach, good regular season coach, but can't get you over the top. Like that will be the narrative. And so I think he may have the most to gain out of anybody from this weekend's game.
The coolest thing about that jersey that you have on is that AFC patch. I think that's so cool. Lamar Hunt, the original
Lamar Hunt,
founder of Chiefs, he was one of the original AFL guys.
Yep.
You have the AFL. They still wear the AFL patch.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool. Did you see, speaking of football, did you see what the Kings were running on the video board last night while the Pistons were being introduced?
Yes, the flukiest catch in all of football.
Great Ayuk, the alley Ayuk, the catch 4. That was great.
That was all. Why they running so many times yesterday? Like
just over and over. Like, hey, Detroit, how about this?
Alienating the Chiefs and Lions fans in the building last night. You know what?
You don't have to worry about alienating the Chiefs and Lions.
Alienating your boy Drake.
It's
like, what are we doing? Do we really got to relive this?
Did you hear Ronnie Lott on yesterday?
No,
with the Styles and Watkins,
and
first thing he says, "Oh man, Sacramento, we used to go up there and train. It was so hot up there." The great Niner teams. They were right up the road in Rockland.
That's where they used to train?
Up the road, yeah.
So it's embedded here. It's ingrained here.
Yes.
Right? I get it. I just don't want my basketball to be interrupted by football plays, Like, yeah, I saw that. Just kept playing it over and over and over again.
Who was the last home game before they went on the trip?
Atlanta.
Yeah, and remember when the Hawks were shooting free throws, they were showing the Detroit Lions logo?
Yeah.
Boo! Boo!
That's smart. That's smart. That's good stuff right there. That's smart.
All right, back to the Kings. The NBA trade deadline wrap up. Why didn't the Kings do anything? Should they have? Where do they go from here? Next with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers will get their chance at revenge when they face the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58.
Jimmy going to throw a deep shot into double coverage. It's intercepted by Fuller, and that will be it. The Kansas City Chiefs will win their first Super Bowl.
Reed versus Shanahan. Purdy versus Mahomes. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. It's Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th.
And it's on your home for the National Football League, Sactown Sports.
Slayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund is belong to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Save up to 80% when you file with TaxSlayer. Start for free.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda. Yeah. Your one-stop Honda shop.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Got a drain that's clogged up? Or maybe a toilet? Or a faucet that just won't quit leaking? Kenny and Jerry here from Bell Brothers, and we want you to know that it does make a difference which plumber you call.
At Bell Brothers, we respect your time by showing up when we say we'll be there. Our technicians are all background checked and drug tested, and will greet you with a smile.
They're trained to do the job right the first time, and they carry over 1,000 parts on their trucks, so they won't have to order something and then come back later.
They leave the work area cleaner than they found it, and your final bill will be the same as they quoted. That's why they call us the No Surprise Guys.
So if you need a plumber, it does make a difference who you call. Call Bell Brothers. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com. That's 916-444-1234, or find us online at thenosurpriseguys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Sactown Sports Road Trip to Vegas to cover the big game is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Chiefs will never, ever, ever beat the 49ers. You can show your tight end's famous girlfriend on TV. But Chiefs will never, ever, ever. 49ers. Come on, sing along with me.
No, I'm good, man.
I like that.
You actually like that?
Chiefs are never, ever,
Kyle, what are you doing, bro?
That's clever. That's really clever by Whitey. I mean, it's, it's silly and fun and all that, but that's really clever.
Can I ask you a question, Kyle? Are you here Monday with us?
I can be.
Make sure we clip Whitey just now singing so that if the Niners lose, we can replay that. We can bring that back.
I got you.
And then we'll play the real version of Taylor Swift.
I don't think he's in. It's a great idea, but I don't think.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'll make a note for Simone and Jay when they come back.
And win the Jay will take care of it.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, I'm sure. Jay gonna be sick, man. He's not coming in if the Niners lose.
Simone might actually be sick if the 49ers lose this one. There's a lot of emotional investment going into this game. Meanwhile, you and me, Kansas City fans, we're confident. We've been here before,
Exactly.
you know.
We got 2 Super Bowls under our belts with Patrick Mahomes.
Ooh.
Hey.
Whoa.
Oh, Whitey. Isn't
2 Super Bowls. Ah. Down to you.
Hasn't the 49ers whole, slogan these last couple years been the quest for 6? That's their whole thing, right? I don't know what they're looking for. I got number 6 right here on my right hand, and number 7 is going to be on my left hand. Patrick Mahomes is taking their 6th championship and taking it back to Kansas City.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I got San Francisco's 6th championship, and then 7th championship is coming back. 2 times we're going to beat the 49ers.
You're just embarrassing yourself as a friend. I
love it. I love it.
I got to tell you, you might want to just kind of
love it.
Hold that down
we're
just a bit.
We've been here before. This is 4th time in 5 years.
I'll tell you what, though. Let me say this, guys.
I win another Super Bowl. It's cute. Yeah.
People in the YouTube chat, they get a treat every day. Because people driving home right now, listening at work on the app or something like that, they don't get to see it on the radio. They don't get to see us dressed up like this. Like, this is a treat right here.
Well, thank you. And I know you say disparaging things about this, which I understand, but thank you for letting me borrow your Purdy jersey. I appreciate that.
It just looks disgusting. It just looks hideous. Like, I'm telling you, in about 3 years,
fits. Feels good.
People will be like, who was number 13 for the Niners? I don't even remember that guy.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I so hope, and it's very unlikely, I so hope that somehow he ends up winning the MVP.
Can you imagine?
That would be great. And then wins the Super Bowl, and they're like, hey, how are you today, Kyle?
Oh, my gosh. You know what's funny? I'm looking at the YouTube chat. Treshawn Myers. Drapes got on a Mahomes jersey. Shaking my head. Drapes, you my dog, but now you look like a hater. I am.
Oh, now. I was like, now.
The last 6 months, right?
Yeah.
Where was he? He was wearing Lions stuff.
He was Lions, Eagles, Packers, my guy, Jordan Love. Come on, man.
Yeah, now this is where he crosses the line.
Now you're just a hater, Drapes. I've been a hater since day one, bro. Shoot.
How does anybody know was it Amadrock?
Yeah, what did he say?
You knew it. How do you know what Taylor Swift's favorite number is?
Everybody knows who's Taylor
Swift. This is a whole thing.
Okay, that's all right.
What do you mean how?
Well, that's not the type of thing I would think you would know.
Kyle, can you school this guy?
Yeah, so here's the deal.
And I don't need a whole. Is it just it's well known because she said it once or something?
I think the best person to educate us is Ice Cube's son on Twitter. Has all the information for us. For those who don't know, Taylor was born on the 13th of December. She turned 13 on Friday the 13th. Her first album went gold in the U.S. in 13 weeks. She just won her 13th Grammy. It's Super Bowl 58. 5 plus 8 is 13. She's been to 12 Kansas City games since dating Travis Kelce. This will be game number 13.
She's going to lose to number 13. Oh.
And the Super Bowl is on February 11th. 2 plus 1, 13.
Yeah. That's not 11 is not 13.
No, 2 plus 11 is 13.
Yeah,
it's February 11th. 2 plus 11 is 13.
Like, you really didn't know that, Whitey? That her favorite number was 13?
No, I didn't.
Where you been at, man? You living under a rock?
Yeah.
Also, 100 minus 13, 87. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's her favorite food? I don't want to know, and I don't care.
Man, she's the biggest thing out there. You don't know anything about her.
13 has always been Taylor's number.
Right.
Apparently. Yeah. That's great. That's tremendous. It is a little more fun talking about football right now than it is talking about whatever that was that the Kings did last night. And, of course, today they ended up doing at the deadline nothing.
What's more worse, in your opinion? Nothing or last night?
Last night is way worse to me.
Really?
Because you could make the case, as I've been trying to make. I know it's not a popular case today, that you know what? It could still work out. We don't know what was available, blah, blah, blah. But last night, there's no way. You can't work your way around like, well, give first home game after a long road trip's like, none of that applies last night.
Yeah, and I agree with you because I think because of what happened last night, today feels even worse. Like, if they would have won last night and they didn't do anything at the trade deadline, okay, I get it, Monty. Maybe the deal wasn't out there. But to lose and then not do. No help is on the way. That's what's concerning. Like, we've been on this roller coaster all season long, and maybe we can go out there and get this guy. Maybe this guy can help. Now we know there is no help on the way. This is it. This is who we got. Maybe in the buyout market, somebody like that, but this is who we got. And I think that's a little frustrating for fans.
Sure. And it's also very discouraging when you see that the Oklahoma City Thunder, they get Gordon Hayward. The Dallas Mavericks, they get Daniel Gafford. And PJ Washington. I know you had interest in him.
Yeah.
Phoenix gets Royce O'Neal and David Roddy. Of course, the Knicks and Bucks and Sixers also added help. But in your own conference, where that's what makes it harder to say, no, I think we're not going to do anything. Well, teams that you're competing with are doing something.
Yeah, and what that signals to me is that this is a long play game. So this year, we're not going to go for it. We're going to do the best we can. First round, hopefully second round. But then we'll come back next year, maybe tweak and add some next year. And so, I don't know. You know what it is, Whitey? And this is the 100% honest truth. It's like waking up on Christmas Day and you're not getting any presents, but everybody else gets to open shiny new things. Where's our shiny new thing? We don't have it. We got, our same. It's reliable. It's good.
Well, you get something, but it's just like a Bluetooth speaker. That's all you get.
I tell you what, I got like 10 of those just sitting
around.
That's
why I mentioned it.
It's like, that's like the hot gift now, right? At corporations, like, we got one here at Bonneville. I got like 5 from the Kings.
I haven't opened mine yet, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. You're right. It's a nice gift. It's solid. It's good, but it's not the boom box. It's not going to move the needle. And so it's frustrating, man, because, I wanted fireworks. I wanted some big names, yes. But here's the problem with not doing anything. Our needs are still the same. So basically, Monty has not addressed a need. And we know they need several things. And so right now, our needs are not being met. Our needs are not being addressed. And we got to wait till the offseason for that. So we got to be patient.
The tricky part of trying to get what you need in the trade market. You obviously are limited by what's available, and then you're also limited by what you have that other teams want. I think that's the part of this that maybe we haven't talked about enough. I don't think the Kings have a lot right now that they're willing to part with that other teams want.
Yeah. But, you look at the picks that were given up. They weren't like massive hauls or massive picks. Like, for the Celtics to get Tillman for 2 second-rounders. You look at, what Kelly Olynyk and them got traded for. It's,
that's true.
Kier Lewis and, a couple of picks. Like, it's not a lot. Like, there were some overpays out there. I thought, what was the one trade where I was like, man, they really like that guy. That's, a major overpay.
Was that the Shake Milton for?
Yeah, Shake Milton, Troy Brown
Morris.
for Monte Morris. I was like, man, they must really like that guy. I felt like that was, a little bit of an overpay.
Which, by the way, Whitey, Troy Brown, one of your 3 and D guys who doesn't 3 or D.
Yeah.
But look, like the Knicks got Alec Burks and Bojan Bogdanovic for Quentin Grimes, Evan Fournier, Malachi Flynn, Ryan Arcidiacono, and 2 future second-round picks. There's only one good player in that bunch, Quentin Grimes, young player, up-and-comer.
Doesn't Archie, how do you say it? I'm sorry,
Arcidiacono.
Doesn't he hold, and I'm not making fun, I believe he holds a record for the most games played without a basket.
Without a basket.
Like in the history of
20-something or something.
Yeah, it was 20 in a row.
Yeah.
I saw his teammates were reposting it. Like, dang, that's...
Yeah.
Like,
well,
Brunson.
He's a Villanova guy, right? Yeah.
He's one of those
That's why
guys.
I was so surprised they traded him. The Villanova squad was all together with Brunson and Hart and DiVincenzo, and then they traded Arcidiacono.
Yeah, I don't know. And so what's going to happen, Whitey, and I'm going to tell you how it is with me. I'm going to be frustrated. I'm going to be mad today, but I'm going to wake up tomorrow. We got a game. You beat Jokic and the Nuggets. Let's go. I mean, the goals are still there, are still attainable. It's just, I wish they would have did something.
What do you hope to hear from Monty tomorrow? Monty McNair, the press conference scheduled for 12. We're trying to convince him to move it back so he can come out.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I might have to get down there early to ask the tough questions about Monty. No, I mean, what do I want to hear from him? Sometimes they do the opening statement. I need him to address the fans right off the jump.
Yeah, I like that.
I know, you guys are frustrated. I know, there are some holes in this roster, but trust me, we're going to address them. We're going to get better. Like, I need an air of confidence, of fight. Like, you know what? It's not where we want right now, but we're going to get there.
You just want an acknowledgement of, hey, I know this is a tough period for you.
Right, exactly.
We understand.
Exactly.
This is what we're doing about it.
But I hope I hear that. I'm sure I'm going to hear, well, it takes two teams. We tried and, the asking price was too high. I don't want to hear that cliche stuff, Monty. I need you to talk directly to fans. Don't talk to the media members. Talk to the fans because they're the ones that deserve the product.
You know what would be great? Yeah, and no one would ever do this. I respect that. I know that. But it would be so cool if a GM said, well, we could have had so-and-so. He's terrible.
Yeah, he was available. We didn't want him, though, right?
Yeah. I can't believe so-and-so gave up that much for him.
Yeah.
They can have him. Good luck. Take a real quick timeout. Get right back to the phones at 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. When it's time for a road trip, prepare with a visit to Jiffy Lube for all your automotive maintenance needs, from oil changes to tire rotations and more. Jiffy Lube is your road trip headquarters.
Get the best local coverage of the big game with Styles and Watkins.
Wednesday through Friday from 10 to 2 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark, as I try and fill around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
What happens? Playoffs.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Got some voices of reason on the text line. People don't recognize the Kings. I see the changes of moving towards a two-way team. We're trending in that direction. Taking longer than expected for Kings to become full two-way top 5 team. When we get there sooner than later, I'll be right. I'm still hoping by this season. There's still a lot of faith in the way the Kings are going about it.
Some faith out there. People
there's
are still.
There's some. I know you've seen some other comments.
Yeah, I've seen some other comments out there. Roy says, what happens when this team misses the playoffs? Because right now they sure will. Man, you got people jumping off, saying they're not renewing season tickets, saying Monty needs to go, criticizing Mike Brown. It is a emotional day, if you will, for Kings fans right now.
If my math is right here, they're 5.5 out of missing the playoffs. They're also 5.5 out of the #1 seed.
Now, are you're saying missing the play-in and,
Right,
yeah.
because Golden State is 11th.
I got 5 games, right? 5.5 and
you're
10.5.
Right.
Yeah, 5 games.
It's 5 games.
And the Warriors, man, they won 2 in a row. Watch out.
Your guy Wiggins is playing really well, and that's one reason they didn't want to trade him.
They didn't. I would have loved Andrew Wiggins. If they would have got Wiggins, your boy would be smiling today. Forget about yesterday's loss.
He would not be, though. Apparently, he didn't want to get traded The last thing the Kings needed is a mopey Wiggins.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Yes, that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, I'm looking at the Mavericks right behind us, a game and a half. Lakers are still a little bit back at 3. But are you now worried about the Mavericks? And here they come with their moves that they made.
No, I think there's something fundamentally wrong there. And they've got, obviously, Luka's a tremendous player. Kyrie's a tremendous player. They have not been able to figure out exactly how to make it work. And now this almost reeks of desperation. We got to do something. And Gafford's a good player. PJ Washington, I don't know. But PJ Washington especially, to me, looks like this guy used to be pretty good, we think. So they don't scare me. They just seem to me like they're desperately searching for answers. Could they find a maybe? But my bit is that they don't. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140.
Phones.
Ken on Sactown Sports. Hello, Ken. How are you?
Pretty good, guys. How you doing this afternoon?
Good. What's up, Ken?
Good to hear from you, Ken. The floor is yours.
Well, I tell you what, I hear everybody kind of panicking. We got to make a move. We can't make a move just for the sake of making a move. And if you're not going to bring somebody in that's going to significantly improve what you got going on, then what you're going to do is risk losing the chemistry and everything you got. I understand that everybody sees us as nice guys and everything, but take a closer look. The Kings have literally squandered 5 to 6 games this year, just with poor free throw shooting, boneheaded plays, and carelessness with the basketball. That's the kind of stuff that can be taken care of. Quite frankly, De'Aaron Fox is not playing at an all-star level. He was the best clutch player down the stretch last year in the NBA. We're not getting that kind of productivity from him right now. And quite frankly, I'm wondering if he kind of worries about being fouled, because I don't think he wants to be at the foul line. I think between him and Sabonis leaving 6 to 8 points on the floor every single night is costing us. And I don't know what they need to do. They need to make a concentrated effort at the beginning of every game to make sure Keenan gets at least 5 to 6 shots early. When he gets going early, he seems like he's in a flow. But when he disappears early, you don't see him for the rest of the game. And so, to me, that's what you're talking about. You're talking about the inconsistency of the others. We'll get 2 20-point games from Harrison Barnes, and then you don't see him for 7 games. The same with Kevin Huerter, although he's playing more consistently later. I've said that when they get consistency from the 2 points, from the 2 guard position, and from the 3 with Keegan, they can compete with anybody. What I see with the teams is I see a lack of focus when they play teams that they think they're better than. They just show up on the court like they did against Charlotte at home, like they did against Detroit at home. When you take a look at the Kings, they're 14-9 at home. Their road record is one of the best in the league. If the Kings are only losing 6 games in a row, that's where you are in terms of one of the higher-ranked teams in the Western Conference. So to me, I don't see this team as unable to compete. I think when they're focused, they go against a Milwaukee, they go against the Indiana, they show what they're about, they can play to that level. I think they play with their food too often. They cost themselves games. This game they lost the other night, last night against Detroit, that's going to cost them in April.
Yep.
No, you're right.
Thank you,
100%.
Ken. Yeah.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
It's just hard to I know the evidence says that's the case. It's just hard to imagine that after it happens again and again and again that they would let it happen again against Detroit of all teams when the schedule gets so tough. But there it was right before our very eyes.
Yeah, and that's the frustrating part about it is when you look at this month and how difficult it was, the one game you should be able to pencil in is last night and be like, all right, we got this.
Pencil?
One, you know?
Give me the permanent marker.
You're right. And now you got to go out there and beat Denver. Now you got to go out there and win at OKC and Phoenix. And so that's what's so frustrating about it.
Doug joins us here, Sactown Sports. Hello, Doug. Thanks for hanging. What's up?
Gentlemen, how are you?
Good.
What's up, Doug?
I think if I can get into Monty's head and see what he's thinking about the future for the Kings, play this one out here. Who was he under? He was under, what's his name? Daryl Morey, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
What did Houston have that we don't have? Houston had all the big-name stars, and what did he do? He parlayed those into draft picks, and Houston is back coming up and on their way. I think that he is going in and he is trying to develop what we have and then to the almost to a similar situation where you got Curry, Thompson, and Draymond Green were all homegrown, and then now they're getting ready. If they're going to offload those guys, they're going to sit in the picks, circus, and they're going to keep doing that, and that's how they're going to get back or maintain where they are. So I think that he's trying to go in and keep it interesting for fans, and that we continue to make the playoffs at whatever position it is. But eventually, that we get our group that will be developed, and then one day you'll be able to turn those into something, and we will be in a place where we can start doing stuff, draft picks. It may be 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, but that's what I see, because he's not making a move.
Gotcha, Doug. Thank you.
And,
Thank you. Appreciate that. The problem with that is when you're pretty good, like the Kings are, then the draft picks that you're in, they're not worth as much.
They're not worth as much. Yeah. Exactly. And that's, we're good, but not good enough.
Yeah.
We're bad. We're not bad enough either.
Yeah.
So
that's a bad place to be if that's where you are. Yeah. Because those picks, no one else wants them that much. And then if you keep them, they're not very good picks.
You're not getting great players at that spot. Yeah. 100%.
Let's go. Let's see. Let's go one more here for now. Matthew. You're on the drive, guys. Hello, Matthew. What's up?
Hey, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, I just want to, address all the fans that are kind of sounding the alarms after this, this loss to Detroit. It's nobody's happy, but at the same time, like, how long did we wait to be in a position where, we're expecting the playoffs and, really being happy for the Kings? You got to hand it to Detroit. They had a lights-out shooting night. Unfortunate for the Kings, but at the same time, I just want to remind everybody, how long we lived in the trenches. And, just happy the Kings are at the point that they are, and we'll see what moves they make, if any. And let's just, let's appreciate where Sacramento is at this point. And, let's not grovel on this tough loss.
All right. Thanks, Matthew. You're probably right, but, that's a whole thing, as I was saying earlier. I understand it, but a lot of people will say, hey, you know what? 29 and 21. Hey, they're 29
That's
and
not
21.
bad.
Yeah. That's seventh right now. That gets you seventh, where you're just barely hanging on. We have a home court in the play-in if it comes to that. And the whole deal is, I think a lot of fans feel like a deal that the Kings made with fans is being broken this year. There was a promise made last year. We're back. Here we are. We're going to get better and better and better. That was never stated, but it was, I think Kings fans assumed it. And then this year it's like all of a sudden, wait, I think we're going the wrong way.
Yeah.
And fans feel cheated, but we'll see. But sometimes that's the way it works. It's not always, everyone says it's not always linear.
It's not linear, right? Yeah. But, it's, what about momentum? It feels like we have not capitalized on what happened last season, the good vibes and the goodwill. We're not trending in the right direction. And you're right. It's not linear. But, I'm worried. Hopefully we don't become the Atlanta Hawks. Remember, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. And then, they slid back, and now they're in no man's land. Right. Go? Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm hoping we're not.
All right. We'll come back, wrap things up here, get back to the phones, 339-1140. 1-800-920-1140. Like it or not, Kings. Back on the Kings coaster. Next to the Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.
Whoa! Road trip!
Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Yeah! Vegas! Vegas, baby! Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Nada Subaru says yes during the huge President's Day sales event on Now. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to awesome lease offers. Yes to great trade-in values. Yes to huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Subarus in stock ready to go. Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, Ascent, WRX, and more. All with huge Nada Says Yes savings. The President's Day sales event is on. Stop by Nada Subaru today or visit NadaSubaru.com and click the Unlock Nada Says Yes savings button to unlock your savings on the card you want today. Whatever you choose, you're going to save big during the President's Day sales event on Now at Nada Subaru. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to attractive lease offers. Yes to exceptional trade-in values. Yes to great selection. Over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus available. The huge President's Day sales event on Now at Nada Subaru. NadaSubaru.com.
Approved premium credit 1.9 financing on new 2024 outbound.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Sactown Sports Road Trip to Vegas to cover the big game is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
We got an update for you. Something going on in the NBA right now. Let's see. 8:26 left in the third quarter. The Warriors are beating Indiana 76-65. Stephen Curry has 31 points.
Wow.
He's made 8 threes. 8 of 10
8
so far.
threes already.
Yeah. And we're not quite halfway through the third quarter. So what's the record? Is it 14 with play?
14, I think.
Yeah.
Play. Yeah.
So 3-point single game record watch on right now in Indianapolis. And your boy Wiggins, let's see, he's got 9 points.
Okay, my guy. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, Steph, call me when you make 11 straight three-pointers like Keegan Murray. I mean, come on.
Exactly. Tyrese Halliburton has not scored yet. 0 for 4 in 18 minutes. I think he's still struggling with that.
Yeah.
He probably shouldn't be playing, huh?
Probably not, but you got the whole, got to play 65 games. So, you know.
And he could lose. I saw how much he could lose.
Was it 41 million or something like that?
Yeah, I think it's like 40. I thought, well, how much money could it be? He could lose $40 million.
Yeah, it's like he has to make an all-NBA team to get the 40.5 million. So, but this is the trade-off, right? It's like he has to play these games, but these games are hurting his chances of making all-NBA. So is it better that he plays 20 minutes of meaningless basketball or just sit out the game altogether?
Because the way he's been playing before he got hurt, he was on track to
reasonably
be
all
NBA.
Yeah, for sure. And, you know, he's still there, I think, and he, you know, has time after the All-Star break to seal it because he's going to lead the league in assists. And so I think that's a, you know, pretty high thing to do and gets you on All-NBA. But you're right. He hasn't been playing well since dealing with this hamstring.
I mean, I don't know. Leading the league in rebounds doesn't get you to the All-Star team. So, I mean, who cares?
That is true.
From the 5-3-0, Kyle, do the Kings live and die by the 3 too often? If they didn't shoot 44 threes last night, they probably could have won.
Nah, but like Mike Brown said, 120 points, you should be able to get a win if you score 120. It wasn't the offense. I mean,
and like we said with the Coach Triano, four turnovers.
4 turnovers. You allow a team to shoot 55% from 3. And it's not like the Pistons only shot 7 of them. They shot 31 and made 17. That's where they lost the game defensively. You can't give up 39 in the second and then 36 in the fourth. That's where they lost the game. It wasn't the offense.
Somebody else here, and I apologize, people didn't put their names on it. Have to wonder if changing personnel can fix the head case problem. Huh? Do we have a head case problem?
I don't think so. No,
I see. If Fox is not hurt, I could see how you would look at that and go, "Oh, something's wrong with him." I think he's hurt.
He's hurt,
and I don't think he's going to admit it. And I think his right shoulder is hurt, and it's affecting everything shooting wise. I know he's not right-handed, but everything he does, it's I think it's impacting his foul shooting. And so I think it looks like, what's wrong with him? There's something wrong with him. He's got to get his head straight. I think his shoulder's killing him.
Should we give him grace because of that? Or if you're healthy enough to play, no excuses?
I don't know. If he's playing, bless him. But at some point, if you're hurting the team, you got to sit down.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, I think this All-Star break can't come soon enough. Like, this team needs a break. They need to rest. They need to recharge. Fox needs to get healthy. And so, we got 4 more games before the break. They can't come soon enough.
I still think Fox, even when he's not at his best, I think you have a better chance to win if he's playing and hoping that, game to game, he'll find it than if he sits out. And, because as you've pointed out, you don't have a lot of depth in the backcourt as it is.
Right. And that's the thing with this Kings team. It's like, the bench I thought played fantastic last night. I thought, Malik, Davion, Trey, they all played fantastic. But we need more of that, what we saw last night. Like, we should be able to win games when Fox isn't, the man. I will say this, though, Whitey, real quick about De'Aaron Fox. And I said this last week. De'Aaron Fox's main job on this team is to get buckets. He's not the point guard. He's not going to lead you in assists. His job is to get buckets and play great defense. Those are his 2 things. He's been playing fantastic defense. Last night, he was unable to get buckets. They need him to get buckets.
Our coach and coaching staff should embrace who we have, plus who we have on the bench, and coach the heck out of them. Kessler, Colby, Len, do it. That's from dedicated fan Mary Francis.
All right, Mary, I see you out there, And what about Sasha, too? Did you see Sasha out there last night?
I saw first possession. He's in there. Detroit has the ball. Joe Harris is at the nail. And Sasha's just hanging on for dear life. And Joe Harris isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I was sitting, where we sit, and the guy next to me, I just go, you can call that from here.
Right.
So they call the foul right away.
In 5 seconds on the floor.
Why are you holding him?
Right.
It's Joe Harris, and he's not doing anything. But then he got fouled shooting a 3, and then they took him off the floor.
Yeah, he only played 5 minutes. And I don't think he was moving that well with that ankle. And so I think that's the reason why. But, to the last comment you mentioned, we got to embrace, why wasn't Kessler Edwards in that game? We've seen Kessler Edwards the last 3 or 4 games. Jay Ivey is cooking. How come you don't get some size and length and get Kessler Edwards out there on Jay Ivey? I don't know. And so, it's all Monday morning quarterbacking, second guessing the coach. That's old as day. You could always second guess the day after, but it's interesting. You use Kessler in certain situations, but not last night when you needed defense out there. Jay Triano said, it wasn't the offense. It was the defense last night.
By the way, somebody's mad because Detroit has 2 of their 7 wins against the Kings. That's not actually true.
No, who said that?
They do not. I don't want to
You don't want to out them?
Put
your name. Is that on the YouTube channel?
I don't want to. They did put their name on it, so I don't want to.
Let me see where you are. I'm about to call them out.
Detroit has 7 total wins. 2 of them came from the Kings. That's unacceptable, and it's actually not true. We'll just say his name is Bleevin. Rhymes.
Right.
But that's not. It's not that bad.
Steven.
Yeah, because I know why he says that, because Detroit had such a good first quarter when they played there.
Yeah.
But Kings actually win that game. Every team gets right when they play against the Kings because of their defense. They keep doubling the ball but not rotating fast enough, so people will get basically wide open shots even though they're contested. This is a Mike Brown problem from the 209.
Nah, not at all. It's a personnel problem, I think. It's you don't have great on-ball individual defenders. It is what it is. And Jay Triano talked about, especially at the wing spot, you don't have size, length, to keep guys in front of you to drive. And so I just think it's a roster problem, not necessarily a coaching problem.
You know what I think I would try?
Yeah, what you got?
Mr. Reynolds mentioned this a lot last year. I haven't talked to him about it this year. But with the Kings defense last year, he said, I would just try playing a lot more zone.
Do more zone, huh?
Yeah, and they've had some success with it.
Yeah, you might be right, man. And sometimes teams do that. Like we've seen Utah go zone a lot. Miami
plays a lot of zone.
You got to maybe accept your flaws. Like, you know what? We're not great on-ball defenders. Teams are gashing us from three-point range because they're breaking down our defense. Maybe you got to switch it up and play more zone.
And I'm sure they've considered that, and there must be reasons why they're not doing it. But, maybe you go, we're in zone on a make or something. I don't know.
Just something. Yeah, something to change it up.
Yeah.
Because what you see, too, from the Kings is a lot of times they'll switch things up, but by that time it's too late. Like they go for a blitz or a trap late in games. By that time, teams are ready for it. They're like, all right, they're going to do this now, and we can pick it apart.
From the 5-3-0, when you're missing a ton of threes, doesn't that allow the other team to get out and run their offense better? It makes the defense harder, doesn't it? Good question.
Yeah, but, Sacramento is one of the top teams in the league at defending fast break. And so, the long rebounds aren't leading to transition buckets on you. I think last time I checked, they were 7th in the league at limiting the fast break.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah. I mean, in general, it's true. But in the specific case of the Kings so far, you're saying,
no, it's not proven to be true. Right. Exactly. Yeah. They do a fabulous job defending the paint, and they do a fabulous job in transition, defending transition. It's the three-pointers that are killing them right now.
I thought it was really interesting that last night Coach Brown talked about the pick-and-roll defense,
and
he said, I don't know what the numbers are, but I'm going to check. Wasn't that interesting? He goes, I bet we're terrible. We were terrible at it tonight. He said, I don't even know where we are on that, but
he probably knows. That's what I got to go look that up. And in his mind, he's like, yeah, we're not that good at the pick-and-roll defense. Yeah, they got to change something up because this can't. I would love to look at the history of, the last 10 seasons, and let's look at playoff teams and championship caliber teams who defend the three as poorly as Sacramento. Like, you got it in today's NBA, that should be number one defending the three. And they're not doing a good job with it.
All right, Kyle Draper, we're back out at the arena tomorrow. You play-by-play again tomorrow?
Pre and post tomorrow.
Pre and post.
Yes,
all right.
Yeah. I could get a little frustrated, emotional in pre and post. So, yes.
All right. We're expecting Mr. Bibby perhaps tomorrow?
Yeah. We're going to effort Mike Bibby. He's going to be in the building, too. So, let's get Mike Bibby on for sure.
And your good friend Emil Fragoso from Las Vegas.
Unbelievable. He's being a fanboy down there. He's a fanboy right now. No journalist.
We got UC Davis basketball for you next right here on Sactown Sports.
Catch Styles and Watkins live from Radio Row as they bring you the biggest guests in the NFL. Sactown Sports Radio Row coverage is brought to you by Jiffy Lube,